believe we're live now on YouTube. Let's just get the TikTok live going as well. And let's do this. Okay, I think, hold on. Why isn't this working? Okay, it's working. It's working. Okay. I want to see if we can get some more debates. Oh, we have 2 guest requests. I didn't even realize. Oh, okay, there you are. Hey, how old are you?
58.
And do you disagree with any of the prompts on the screen right now?
Well, his immigration policies are cruel and inefficient. I
Yeah.
actually agree with that.
Okay.
They are inefficient, and my opinion is he should appoint Obama into the cabinet position for the Homeland Security, because that guy was good.
Okay.
He was efficient. He was efficient because he threw a boatload of people out, and he knows how to do it.
Right, and he didn't have to send anyone to CCOT with violating their due process or violate
what I'm
multiple
saying.
court orders. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. They should put him in charge, and he'd get it done, and the
Okay.
libs would settle down. They wouldn't be
Well,
protesting.
Obama actually got a lot of criticism from the left when he was president on his immigration policies. I don't know if that second thing is true, but his policy
don't-
was
I don't
definitely
think they'd
preferable
be
to
like-
Trump's. If that's what you're arguing, I agree with you.
Well, they weren't blocking ICE in the streets, right? When Obama was in charge, they weren't. ICE was being used. They weren't blocking them in the streets.
Right, and ICE wasn't really acting like a criminal organization under Obama
They
like
were
it is
going
under
and
Trump.
arresting people on the streets.
Right, but they weren't shipping people off to CCOT without
Sure,
due
they
process.
were. They were shipping people out of the country.
Who'd they send
fast.
to CCOT under Obama?
Rose, I'm agreeing with you. It's inefficient. Trump is doing
And
it
cruel.
inefficiently.
And cruel.
That is why he should get Obama in charge
And
of the
cruel,
damn
right?
thing. Sure.
Okay.
That's why he should get Obama in charge
Cool.
of it.
I'm glad we agree. So do you also disagree with the other 2 prompts, or do you agree with me on everything?
He's the most corrupt president in modern history.
Yeah. That's pretty hard to deny, right? He's increased
What
his
did he
net
do
worth
that
by
was
billions
corrupt?
of dollars with all the crypto deals he's done.
Is
World
that
Liberty
corruption?
Financial, Binance.
Is that corruption?
Yeah.
Is that selling your office? Did he sell
I
his
can give you a
office?
specific example of corruption under the Trump administration. He pardoned the CEO of Binance and gave access to AI chips to the UAE right after they used his stablecoin to do a $2 billion deal, which up until then no one had been using that stablecoin.
That's corruption.
Yes.
They should impeach him. At the end of this,
Republicans are
midterm-
spineless. They're not going to impeach him for that.
At the midterms, I'm sure he'll be impeached.
Well, you can't be impeached in the midterms, but he'll definitely, if he doesn't rig the election, the midterms are going to be brutal for Republicans. That's for sure.
That's what I'm saying. They'll impeach him at that point after the midterms. They'll get
If the
impeached.
Democrats win, they should impeach him. Yeah.
Okay, and then we'll move on.
Okay. So, do you think
Will
he's a
you
threat to the
be
country?
okay? Will you be okay with Vance in charge?
Oh God, no, not at all.
Well, who was acceptable to you?
People that are not authoritarians is like that's my
Well,
basic
I understand, but we have to follow
requirement.
the law. We have to follow the law.
Exactly.
So once Trump,
That's what I'm
once
saying.
Trump's
People who
impeached-
believe in rule of law, I think, would be acceptable more so than Trump
we
at
can't
least.
replace Vance because he's next in line. So I know you don't like him, but he's next in line.
Yeah, I don't like
So
him.
according to our Constitution,
Uh-huh.
he's the guy.
Okay.
So what do you suggest?
Well, I'm sure if he took over after Trump was impeached, it wouldn't be too long before he was also impeached because he's pretty
Okay,
blatantly said
okay.
he wants to start violating court orders and he believes the executive branch has absolute power. So if he
Okay,
starts acting
okay.
on the way he speaks, then it won't be too long before he's out of there too.
So he's impeached too. Okay. So we'll
Most
impeach,
likely.
okay, and then we'll have an election, right?
In 2028,
Now let's say Yeah. Now let's say the Democrats do all that, and then the American people go, "Well, that's a lot of overreach," and they reelect a freaking Trumper again.
That'd be interesting, but if the American people are voting in response to one side's overreach, it'd probably be the side of the Trump administration who has overreached in regards to violating people's constitutional rights and acting
What
in an
happened in-
authoritarian fashion,
what happened
having
in
people detained
24?
for expressing their opinion, violating their due process rights, so on and so forth.
What the hell happened in 24 on that election?
Trump won
Why?
because of inflation.
Well, that's one reason.
Well, that's
Why
what
else?
most exit polling shows is inflation was by and large the number one reason Trump won.
Well, I thought Biden didn't have any inflation.
No, there was definitely inflation. What do you mean?
I thought it was transitory.
Well, yeah, the inflation rate came down towards the end of Biden's term. So it peaked in, I believe, 2022. And by 2024, it was approaching back down to 2%. And the president doesn't have much to do with inflation unless he's doing something like
That's not
tariffs.
true.
The Federal Reserve is much more in charge of inflation. That's why they have
Trump
the
has-
dual mandate
it's-
system.
All the inflation we have right now is Trump's fault.
Who said that?
You just did.
I said all the inflation we have is Trump's fault. I never said that. People who are watching on YouTube can rewind. I never said that.
Oh, so you're saying it's not the president's fault, the inflation?
Usually it's not unless the president pushes a policy that is explicitly inflationary.
Oh, jeez, I'm getting confused.
Okay,
So
I
what
can
was
clear it up
why
for you
was
for
it
getting
caused
confused.
By Biden.
Say it again?
What was Biden doing that was causing it?
I mean, he passed the the American Rescue Plan, pushed it up marginally, but most of it was caused by supply chain issues, and we ended up recovering much faster on jobs thanks to the American Rescue Plan. So that was just kind of a trade-off. Do you want to have a quick jobs recovery with
kind of
higher
government
inflation,
jobs?
or a slower jobs recovery with lower
Did we have
inflation?
private sector job growth or government job growth under Biden?
Both.
Which was the one that fueled the job growth?
Why does that even matter? Why aren't you addressing my point?
Because it's government job growth.
Okay, and the government does important
Okay,
stuff like
who
administering
pays for
Social
jobs
Security
for
and
the
Medicare and
government?
Medicaid and a bunch of other benefits,
Slow down,
right?
Tiger.
Why
Who
are you
pays-
changing the subject
Slow
so
down,
much?
Tiger.
Why are
What's
we going
better,
point by
government
point?
job or private sector job, Tiger?
Say it
What's
again?
better? What's better?
Why am I a
Government job
tiger
created
now? What's
or-
going on?
Because you're skipping around.
You're the one
What's
who's changed
better?
the subject.
What's better, government job creation or private sector job?
It depends on the job. There's no answer to that question.
How does that depend?
Because government multipliers are higher than private sector multipliers if you want to talk
okay.
about spending.
So who pays for the
Wait,
government
you
job?
have to address that. You can't
Wait,
just
wait,
keep
wait,
changing
wait.
the subject. You
Who
can't just control
pays
the
for the government
entire
job?
conversation.
Come on, Tiger. Who pays for the government job?
Come on, Lion. Give me an answer to something I've said.
Well,
Come on.
Come on now, bro.
Come on.
Come on. You pay for it. You pay for the government job, bro.
Yeah, that's
You
how
do.
taxes work.
Yeah, you pay for it, bro.
So do you.
So who
as long
pays
as you're not
the
doing tax
taxes?
evasion, yeah.
Wait. Let's do it this way. Who pays?
No,
for
let's
the
do it in a way where you respond to the words I'm saying.
Does government?
How
pay
about you
the
respond to
taxes?
the words I'm saying?
Good
you,
Lord.
You keep changing
Does
the topic.
government pay taxes?
Why can't you address what I'm saying?
Who pays taxes, bro?
Why can't you address what I'm saying?
Just answer that one question.
Why are you changing the subject instead of answering what I'm
Just
saying?
Answer that simple question. Who pays taxes? Does the government pay the taxes?
Nothing bad can happen. It can only good
Good
happen.
Lord, man.
Why aren't you answering what I'm
Should we
saying?
all work for the government? Should we all work for the government?
I never said that. Why aren't you answering anything I'm
would it
saying?
work?
You haven't
Would it
addressed a
work if
single
we all
thing
work-
I've said.
Bro, you're talking gibberish.
You're
Would it
jumping from
work
topic to
if we all-
topic.
If we all worked for the government, would that work? Because we'd have great job growth. We'd have fantastic job growth. Everybody gets hired.
You
gets a
never
government
addressed what
job.
I said about the multiplier on government
Because
spending,
you're
so why would I
talking
address what you're
shit.
saying? You don't know what a
Literally
multiplier
talking
is?
shit.
You don't know what a multiplier
Talking
is?
shit.
You can say that, but it doesn't address
Bro.
anything I said.
Bro, how many people should work for the government? Give me the number.
Once you address the multiplier point that I made, I'm happy to
Well, if
move
we all
forward,
work-
but you can't just
according to
ignore
that
every
logic,
word
my
out of
friend.
my mouth and keep moving on,
Yeah.
right?
According to that logic, my friend, if everybody works for the government, the job growth will be through the roof.
That's not how a multiplier works. It's going to be diminishing returns once you reach some kind of critical mass. So address my actual point on the multiplier.
Oh, so which more important? Did you ever answer my question? What's more important, government jobs or private sector jobs?
There's no answer to that question. It depends on the job.
There isn't? Okay. All right, then.
And I answered you by saying the government multiplier is higher.
You get
than-
a grip
Does
over
this
that?
guy not address anything? Can you
So
hear
get a
me?
grip on
Hello?
that?
Do you
I don't
speak
think you
English?
really should speak.
Hello, sir.
Hello?
Do you
Sir?
hear the words coming out of
You
my
shouldn't
mouth?
speak.
Do you hear the words coming out of my
You
mouth?
shouldn't speak.
I would love to have a conversation with you, but you're here to give a speech for some reason. I'd love to have a back and forth with you. I love talking to people who I disagree with, but if you refuse to engage with a single point I've said and just keep saying tiger,
really are
it's
just
funny for the
talking
first
out your
2 or 3
ass.
times, and then it gets kind of boring.
You're just talking out of your ass. That's what's boring.
I would just love for you to address anything I've said at all. It's getting a little bit boring.
Oh, so government jobs. When we create more government jobs, that's a good thing.
Are you going to address my point about the multiplier?
Yeah, go ahead and explain it to me.
You know what a multiplier is or no?
It probably expands.
A multiplier is talking about when you're taking $1, how much GDP growth is created by that. And public sector spending has higher multipliers for GDP than private sector spending does, which is why you see when you give tax cuts to corporations, for every $1 you cut in their taxes, you only get 40 cents of economic growth. Whereas when you spend $1 on infrastructure through the government, you get $2 to $3 of economic growth. So a construction worker who's a contractor building a bridge for the government is going to be better for the economy than maybe someone working in the private sector in some kind of financial role. Now, there's going to be private sector jobs that are more important than public sector jobs, but it's pretty simplistic and childish to act like, what's better, government job or private job? Well, it depends on the job. Does that make sense?
So that's probably explains why the GDP went down when the government shut down for this
Why
last
can't you just
quarter.
address that? And yes, that's part of it.
I agree.
That's part of it,
I
yeah.
agree. We should put all the money towards government projects.
That's silly. I don't think we should put all the money towards government projects. No, you're the liberal
You just
here, I
said
guess.
that the multiplier would go through the roof.
But it's diminishing. At a certain point, the multiplier is not going to be 2 to 3 anymore. Well, you know what diminishing returns are?
Well, when government spends money, do they get that from the taxpayer?
Yeah, mostly, but they also go into debt to do it. So,
Yeah, they print it.
what do you mean they print it? How do you think the Federal Reserve works?
Yeah, they print it.
What do you mean
It's
they print
paper.
it? Please
it's
explain.
Called paper, and then when that paper goes
You think
in,
the Federal
right?
Reserve prints dollars?
Wait. So they take in $4 trillion, right? They take in $4 trillion and they spend 7, right? They
gonna
spend
ask you
7,
the
but
same
they
question
took in $4 trillion.
when you're done.
Well, where'd they get the other $3 trillion?
I'm going to ask you the same question when you're done.
Where'd they get the other $3 trillion?
I'm going to
They
ask you the
borrowed
same
it, right?
question. Yeah, and
They
when they
borrowed
borrow it, do you think they're printing physical dollars to borrow it? Is that your
Paper,
understanding?
Yes.
That's not true.
Where did they get it?
The Federal Reserve creates reserves digitally, and many of those don't even circulate through the economy.
I'm sorry. They do it digitally, not with paper.
Yeah, and the big difference there is that those digital reserves are not
where did it come
circulating in the
from?
economy in their totality, oftentimes.
Where did it come from?
Dude, you have to address what I'm saying.
Dude, where did it come from?
I just told you they created digital reserves. The Federal Reserve, our central bank. Not all of those reserves flow through the economy. You understand that, right?
Okay, so when they
Can you
have
acknowledge
that extra,
that?
Sure. When they
What are
have
you
that
acknowledging?
extra,
Just what are you acknowledging?
Bro, when they have that extra $3 trillion.
What are you
right?
acknowledging? You're not having a conversation, dude. You're giving a speech. Come on. When the Federal Reserve creates reserves, are those all flowing through our economy?
Would that cause inflation?
Bro, why aren't you answering what I'm saying? That's a very simple question. When the Federal Reserve creates money, is all of that money circulating through our economy?
No.
Okay. So it's not inherently inflationary then, right?
Well, I don't know. Was it?
I'm going to ask you again. So it's not inherently
I'm gonna ask you
inflationary
again.
then, is it?
Was it inflationary when Biden did it?
I'm going
Was
to
it
keep asking you.
inflationary when Biden did it?
I'm going to keep asking you the same question until you answer
I'm
the
going to
question.
just refer you back to the last 4 years we lived through.
Okay. Congrats.
What
Thanks
happened?
for sharing.
What
I'm going to ask you
happened?
again now. Is that
What
inherently
happened?
inflationary?
What happened, bro? What
I
caused
did
the
everything
inflation
right
rates
and
to
they
go way
indicted
through the
me.
roof?
I would just love an answer to what I said.
Why? What caused the
I would love for you
inflation
to
rate
address
go up?
anything I'm saying at all. This guy has not addressed
Seriously.
a single point I've made. He just asks random rhetorical questions.
It's not random.
It is.
You don't know.
When I
the
ask
answer.
you a question and you don't answer the question, you're saying something random
don't
because
really
it's not
know the
related
answer,
to the
do
line
you?
of
You wanna talk in a
conversation that I'm
circle.
pursuing with you.
You want to talk in a circle.
I want to talk in a straight line. You want to go in circles. I'm
Let's
asking
talk
you
in
a simple
straight line.
question. I've been
What
asking
caused
you this
Biden's
question.
Inflation.
I've been asking you this question.
What caused Biden's inflation?
Is creating reserves inherently inflationary?
Can be.
Do you know what inherently means? What do you mean
Seriously,
can
bro.
be?
If I give you $50,
Bro, I'll answer your question if you just answer mine.
Honest
Is
to God,
creating
just answer
reserves
this
inherently
simple question.
inflationary? Bro, it's not even a hard question.
That's what they do with the money.
Inherently. Is it inherently inflationary? Is it
You go ahead and answer
necessarily
it
inflationary?
Go ahead and answer it for me.
No, you can answer the question.
No, I don't know. I don't follow your logic.
No, if you're making arguments about inflation, you better know.
I don't follow it. You explain it.
No, if you're complaining about the government printing money, which up until 30 seconds ago you thought they were printing new dollar bills and shipping
they're
them out in
doing
envelopes
digitally.
or something, when
They're
the
doing
Federal Reserve
digitally.
creates reserves, is that inherently inflationary? Come on.
They're flipping a switch and they're saying, here's $3 trillion.
And is that money inherently inflationary?
Is that money?
I'm going to ask you again. Is it inherently inflationary?
Did that money come from a taxpayer?
Is it? No, it didn't. It's created by the Federal Reserve. Is it inherently inflationary,
How
bro?
did they do it? With magic?
Bro, it's such a simple question. I don't know why
Seriously,
you're doing
bro,
this.
you're just throwing $3 trillion and creating it, right? You're creating $3 trillion.
Is it inherently inflationary when the
You think it
Federal
would be
Reserve
less
creates
inflationary-
money?
Wait. Let me ask you this. No, I don't know the answer to your
Then
question.
why
Go
do you
ahead,
have
Doug.
an opinion on inflation at all?
Oh, I know, because you think that inherently this flipping a switch and creating $3 trillion because it's digital, that it somehow is okay.
That does not address anything I just said. And you're also strawmanning me. So just address something that I said, and I'd love to have a conversation.
It's okay, is what you're saying. It's just fine.
It
then why
depends
don't we
on the
just create-
circumstance,
Why
right?
don't we just create $100
It
trillion
depends on the
digitally?
circumstance.
Why don't we just create $100 trillion digitally? Then we don't ever have to worry about it.
Because creating money depends on the circumstance. Now tell me, is it inherently
Well,
inflationary to
we
create
need
reserves?
it.
Is it inherently inflationary to create reserves?
We need it.
Maybe necessarily will make more
necessarily
sense to you than
create inflation.
inherently. Is it necessarily
wouldn't.
inflationary when you create
It wouldn't
reserves?
necessarily be inflationary if they did $100 trillion.
Bro, just answer the question. I don't know why
No,
you're
it's
doing
not
this.
inherently. It would not inherently create inflation if they
Okay,
did $100
thank you.
trillion.
Why did I have to ask you
would
that
not.
question 30
They could have
times?
$100 trillion
Why did I
on
have
the
to?
books.
Did you Google that? Because first you said you didn't know.
No, it wouldn't create inflation if they digitally.
Why
created
did you?
$100 trillion,
Why did you refuse to answer the question
And
for
then
so long,
if they
and now all of a
digitally
sudden you
created-
magically know the
If
answer?
they digitally created $100 trillion and set it there,
Dude,
right?
no
But
one's
then they
arguing to digitally
slowly
create
took it
$100
out.
trillion. It's
Why
obviously
not?
stupid. Why aren't you answering what I'm
Why
saying?
wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they?
Why aren't you addressing what I'm saying? Because the
Not
Federal Reserve has
inherently
a dual
inflationary.
mandate.
It's not inherently inflationary. We just proved
Okay,
that, right?
why did you first say you don't know the answer to that question, and then you gave me the correct answer like 5
I
minutes
just-
later? Did you
Well, now
Google
you're
it?
disagreeing with what I'm saying?
Did you Google it?
No.
Then how did you go from I don't know to knowing the answer in 30 seconds?
Oh, I'm just gonna assume that's what you wanted to hear.
So you still don't actually understand how the Federal Reserve works. You're just trying to move the conversation forward without even knowing how it works.
Seriously, bro, if they create $100 trillion, which is fine,
That
they
would
should.
violate the dual mandate system
Why?
because they're supposed to keep a low inflation and
That
unemployment.
doesn't cause inflation. We've already settled that. That doesn't inherently cause
It
inflation.
doesn't necessarily cause inflation. $100 trillion in reserves would obviously cause inflation. Now I'm going to
Why?
ask you again.
Why?
What is the dual mandate system and how does it work?
Why would it cause inflation?
Bro, why are you,
You just said it wouldn't
expressing
inherently
such
cause
strong
inflation.
opinions on things you don't know
You
anything
just
about?
said it would not inherently cause inflation. Now you're saying, well, it would cause inflation.
100 trillion?
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
that would cause inflation. That would
They
bump
can
up
create
inflation
it.
expectations if they
They
did
can
that
create
level
it
of quantitative easing. Yeah.
They can create it digitally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and
What are you arguing right now? You think I
My
support
point
creating
is-
$100 trillion?
why wouldn't you? It doesn't
Because
cause
it
inflation.
contradicts the dual mandate system of the Federal
doesn't
Reserve.
cause
How many times do I have
inflation.
to say this?
You just said it doesn't inherently cause inflation.
I said creating reserves doesn't inherently cause inflation.
All
Obviously,
right,
if
so
the
we
amount you're
agree.
creating is $100 trillion,
Yes, we
then it
agree.
would.
Why?
Because it would bump up inflation expectations, even if the reserves aren't being lent out by banks, which they would be lent out by banks, unless there was some kind of stipulation there
Not
for them to. I mean, we got rid of the minimum holding requirement for banks as well. So now the
Not
Federal Reserve.
inherently
Wait,
would
hold
be
on.
Lend it out.
Just quick question: how does the Federal Reserve work? Like, what does it do? What is its job? If you want to discuss inflation, I'm happy to do that, but you have to know what the fuck you're talking about.
Okay, so tell me exactly what
No,
do we
you
need
tell
to
me
do?
exactly. How does
What
the
do we
Federal
need-
Reserve
what do
work?
we
Just
need to
broadly
do?
speaking.
You're highly intelligent.
Just broadly
What do
speaking.
we-
No,
you're
I'm just a
highly
24-year-old who understands
No,
the basics of
you're
the Fed.
highly intelligent.
I'm asking
You're
you,
off
tiger,
the charts
lion, cheetah,
intelligent,
whatever you want to
Mike.
be called. How does the Federal
Tiger,
Reserve work?
Tiger.
Okay,
Tiger,
Tiger,
you're
sure.
highly
Let me know,
intelligent.
Tiger. How does
Just
the
tell me.
Federal Reserve work?
Tell me how it works, Tiger.
If you have an opinion on inflation, you should be able to
Tiger, tell
explain
me.
how it works.
Tell me how it works, Tiger.
Bro, if you have an opinion on inflation, you should know how the Federal Reserve works. So I'm asking you to
You're
explain.
gonna have to tell me, bro.
Okay, if
You're
you
gonna
don't,
have to
then we're
tell
not talking about inflation. End of story.
me. Why not, bro?
Because you don't know how the Federal Reserve works.
I'm here to learn, bro. Come on, Tiger. Don't be like that.
Hold on. Then don't express an opinion.
Don't be like that, Tiger.
I'm gonna have to be like that, Tiger. I'm sorry.
Come on.
I'm
You're
sorry.
so highly intelligent.
I'm not. I know the
You
bare
are.
bones. I know the
You
bare
are.
bones.
You're very intelligent.
I'm trying to be educated by you, dude. Come on. Let me know.
Come on, bro. Tell
You came
me,
out
how does it
swinging
work?
with strong opinions
How
on
does
inflation
it
without knowing how the
work?
Federal Reserve works.
How does it work? Tell me how it works.
You tell me. You
It's
expressed
Ponzi-
an opinion on inflation. You should know how inflation works.
Is
Is it that crazy to ask you for that?
Well, let me ask a question. Is it a Ponzi scheme?
Bro, just answer the question.
No. I told you I already didn't know.
Then
I'm asking
why
now,
are you
is it a-
expressing
is it a Ponzi
opinions
scheme?
on the
Well, do
Federal
you not
Reserve
know?
if you
Do you
don't
not
know how
know?
it works?
Do you not know?
I'm going to keep asking you the same question
No.
until you
I
answer
already
it.
answered the question. Don't know how it works. Now, please tell me. how
Okay,
it
then
works.
answer why you had an opinion on how the Federal Reserve works then if you don't know how it works.
I have an idea how it works. I'm wondering if I'm
Okay,
right.
what's
You
your
tell me.
idea? I'm not here to
tell
like
me.
attack you. Just tell me
You
something,
tell me.
bro.
You tell me how it works, bro.
Just give me something, dude. You haven't
don't
given
know,
me
do you?
anything to work with. I have an economics
don't
degree.
know,
Yes, I
do
know.
you?
I'm asking you to explain the bare bones to me if
I
you have such
already
a
said
strong
don't.
opinion.
I already said it. Don't know. Explain it to me, please.
Why do you have opinions on the Federal Reserve and it does not work on gold? We don't run on the gold standard since
Can
like
you
the
just
70s.
explain
Who
it
said
to
that
me?
in the chat?
Can you just please tell me?
I want you to first explain why you have an issue with the Federal Reserve if you don't know how it works. Then I'll explain how it works.
Well, it seems to not work when we're $38 trillion in debt.
Okay.
And we have hundreds of $1 trillion. We have over $100
Thank
trillion
you for giving me
in
something of substance. I'd love to address
unfunded-
this. Okay.
Unfunded liability. In
I'm glad
Social
you brought this
Security
up.
And Medicaid.
I'm glad you brought this up. So you're saying we have way
Hundreds
too
of
much
trillions.
debt. You're saying we have way too much debt
That
and there
obviously doesn't work.
Bro, can I just respond to you?
Go ahead.
Just calm down, okay? You're saying we have too much debt and that is proof the Federal Reserve doesn't work, right?
Yes, it's not working the way
The
it's
job of
supposed to
the
work.
Federal Reserve is not to minimize U.S. government debt. It's to maintain steady inflation and unemployment. They have a target for 2% inflation and the natural rate of unemployment. That's their dual mandate system. So what they're going to do is, broadly speaking, counter-cyclical monetary policy. When our economy is doing really well, they're going to raise rates. When our economy is not doing so well, they're going to cut rates. And at the same time, they're going to incentivize banks to either lend or not lend by changing the interest rates they pay banks to hold reserves. Prior to 2020, banks had an FDIC minimum they had to hold in reserves. That was eliminated during the pandemic. And now what the Federal Reserve does is they change the incentive structure for lending by changing interest rates and federal funds rates. Now, I'm going to ask you, what does any of that have to do with our $38 trillion in debt, which is a result of Congress and fiscal policy, not a result of monetary policy?
So, I ask you a question. In Japan,
Bro, come on. Address anything I just said. What are you doing? Genuinely, what are you doing?
in Japan, they have the interest rates at 0.
Can someone
Actually,
did I
in
miss
some
this guy
in
responding to
some
me? Did I miss
countries-
something?
In some countries, you have to pay them to hold your money.
And it's bad news. Bad things are happening.
So what happens when that happens?
Mom, I'm sorry.
What happens when that happens? Did you get a soundboard for Christmas?
That's not you?
Did you get a soundboard for Christmas?
I thought that was you.
You did, didn't you? Did you ask your mom for that?
I don't even celebrate Christmas.
Oh, what do you celebrate?
Can you
I'm
address
sorry.
anything I
How
said?
many gods do you have?
Can you just address anything I said? What does that have to do with literally anything?
It's the
You
blue
asked me
genie,
to
right?
explain how the Federal Reserve works. I explained
Yeah,
it,
the
and then
blue
you're like,
genie.
well, you know,
What is-
Japan had 0% interest rates. Like, what does that have to do with anything, bro?
You're right. I said you were highly intelligent.
You're the only one who said that. I'm not even claiming to be highly intelligent. I'm just trying to have an actual conversation back and forth with you on the substance. If we disagree, that's fine. I love having debates with people who disagree with me. I learn some stuff sometimes. But if I'm giving you a substantive response to how the Fed works and you're like, Japan had 0%, and how many gods do you worship, by the way? That's a joke. You're a joke. So can you please
Legit.
respond to something I said substantively?
I said you're correct. I don't disagree with any of it.
So then does that disprove the point you made earlier that us having $38 trillion in debt is somehow proof the Federal Reserve isn't doing its job when that's not its job to manage our debt?
No, that doesn't prove that they're doing a good
So
job.
if
with
the Federal Reserve's job is not to manage government debt, and you're saying that our government debt is proof they're not doing a good job, what would be the correlation there?
How did we get the debt?
You were the one who said we have $38 trillion in debt, so clearly something's not working well.
Well, they did set the interest rates really low for a really long time. Did
During
they not?
COVID? Yeah.
No, before that.
When?
Well, Greenspan kept them bouncing around the bottom for a long time.
Right, that's counter-cyclical monetary policy.
And then what happened?
You're going to have to be more specific than that, Tiger.
Well, the entire thing, Lioness, crashed.
What's
Right.
the entire thing?
The entire system crashed in 2008.
Okay, why did the entire system crash? What's your understanding of why it crashed?
Because we had a huge housing crisis and everybody had ridiculous fraud going on.
Because mortgage-backed
And they-
securities were being
And they let
overrated,
that-
right?
And they let that happen.
Mortgage-backed securities were being overrated.
Well, fraudulently,
Right.
yes. With fraud.
And
yes.
that
It
was because
fraud.
of that's actually because of Clinton and Glass-Steagall, which previously
It
commercial
was-
banking and investment banking were separate. So, are
It
you
was
in favor
fraud.
of the progressive policy of once again separating commercial and investment banking? Because that's a great
Yes.
idea. You're a liberal
Yes.
if you support that. I'll tell you that much.
I do support that.
Okay, then we're in full agreement. Yeah, the
But-
2008 crisis happened because private actors were so concerned with profit that they didn't stop to consider that when banks are both holding reserves for people while simultaneously giving out these mortgage-backed securities to people that are being rated extremely highly, yet underneath them the actual mortgages are extremely low rates to people who cannot actually pay these mortgages, they're not qualified to have these mortgages, that's on the private sector by and large.
Well, do they not have government oversight?
Clearly not enough, which is why I blame Bill Clinton for getting rid of Glass-Steagall.
Well, Clinton was a Democrat.
Yeah, I'm not a partisan hack, so I criticize anyone and everyone who does a bad job in office. Yeah. I don't know what
Are
you
you-
think this is. I just think that Trump is uniquely horrible, but doesn't mean I'm not going to criticize other people.
Did you vote Hillary?
I wasn't old enough to vote in 2016.
Oh. How old are you?
24.
Oh, your brain's developing.
It
Okay.
is. It is. It's still working. Days like this, I think it slows down the development when I have to talk to people like you, but it's chugging along.
You know what? You know what? You're gonna have. You should.
Dude, can you stop doing that?
Your soundboard is good. Hey, do you have?
Are we not going to? I thought we were having a substantive conversation.
Do you have big plans for the future?
The biggest, yeah.
Are you going to be the next Elon Musk?
Yep. Next Tony Stark. Yeah. That's me.
Yep. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, thanks.
You could do it. You're smart.
Thank you.
You know, and I'm sure that the Blue Genie will put you under his wing.
I don't know who or what that is.
The Blue Genie?
Yeah, no, I
don't?
don't know what that is.
All right, then.
Yeah. Anything else you'd like to share with us?
Trump is a threat to the country. How so?
He's an authoritarian.
How so?
He violates our constitutional rights.
How so?
He violated the First Amendment rights of pro-Palestinian protesters, as was ruled by Reagan-appointed Judge Bill Young in a district court in Massachusetts.
How so?
I just told you.
What did he do?
People were detained for protesting Israel
Who?
on account of their free speech. Mahmoud Khalil and Ramesa Ozturk are the two most
Was he a
prominent
citizen?
cases.
Was that man a citizen?
No, but that was the entire point of the
No.
case is
The
that
an- stop right
non-citizens
there.
still have free
The answer
speech.
is no. The
Yeah.
answer is no.
Yeah, he wasn't a
Is he
citizen.
guest-
He was
is
a green card
guest
holder.
in our country?
He was a
Is
green
he
card
guest
holder.
in our country?
Lawful permanent resident.
Is he a guest?
Green card holder is a lawful permanent resident.
Is he a guest?
No, guests usually don't live with you, right? A green card
No,
holder is
he
a
can be
lawful
deported.
permanent resident.
Can we deport him for committing
Don't
a
change
crime?
the question now. You're asking, is he a
break
guest? A
into-
green
did he
card holder
break
is not a
in?
guest.
Did he lead a break-in into that university?
A
Yes
green
or
card
no?
holder is not a guest.
Did
And
he-
no,
hold on.
he was not charged with any crimes here.
Did he break in?
No, he was not charged with that.
What was he arrested for?
For expressing his opinion, which is why he had to be released. A judge ordered his release because he was arrested for his free speech. That's the problem. It's authoritarianism, isn't it?
Well, do you get to actually cause a riot?
That's not what he was even accused of. The government didn't even
Well-
accuse him of that when they were
Well,
trying to
you can
deport
do,
him.
folks.
If Donald Trump was a king,
Although the Second
then they
Amendment
would
people,
take-
maybe there
they
is.
would have deported him. Would they not have?
Say it again.
If Donald Trump was a king, they would have deported him.
Who
wouldn't
said that
they?
Donald Trump is a king?
Yeah, yeah. If he's a king, wouldn't they have deported
Who
him?
said that though? What do you mean he's a king?
Well, you said he's an authoritarian person, so meaning that he has
Authoritarian
all
and
power,
king are like not at all the same
power.
thing.
all power. So why couldn't he deport him?
Mahmoud Khalil?
Yeah.
Because he was trying to deport them for their free speech, and that was obviously unconstitutional because we have a First Amendment in this country.
So did he deport him?
He was released? No, because the judge ordered his release.
So then that doesn't prove your point.
How does that not prove my point?
Because he wouldn't have followed the Constitution. He would have kicked his ass out.
No, he had to obey the court in this situation.
What did he have to do?
He had to obey the court in this situation.
What did he do?
I don't know if you didn't hear me the first time or the
He
second
had to
time.
Obey?
Yeah,
He
why
had to
did he have to obey? What did the
How
court
many
say?
authoritarian leaders obey?
Wait, what did he have to obey?
Wait.
Uh-huh.
What did he do? He obeyed, right?
Yeah.
Well, do authoritarian leaders obey other branches of government?
Yes, for pragmatic reasons all the time.
No,
Orban
they
does it.
don't. No, they
Erdogan
don't.
does it.
Did Adolf Hitler obey other people?
Before the Enabling Act, yeah.
Oh, well, so hold up. So you're saying he's not quite there yet,
Who, Donald Trump?
right?
Do you know what authoritarian means?
He's not there yet.
He is there. Do you know what authoritarian means? I can pull up the definition if you want. I think you're confused. I think the issue is you're confused about the definition of
He had
authoritarian.
all power. He would have deported the man and not even
Authoritarian
bothered.
means favoring or enforcing strict obedience to authority, especially that of the government at the expense of personal freedom.
You're going to have to show me an example of that happening.
Someone's First Amendment rights being intentionally violated.
That man? That one guy?
Andrew Mesa Ozturk and many other students.
Oh, okay. And
Uh-huh.
again, are they citizens?
I can just read the court decision
Were
for
those
you.
citizens?
I can just read the court decision for you. For all these reasons, this court finds as fact and concludes as matter of law that Secretaries Noem and Rubio and their several agents and subordinates acted in concert to misuse the sweeping powers of their respective offices to target non-citizen pro-Palestinians for deportation, primarily on account of their First Amendment protected political speech. They did so in order to strike fear into similarly situated non-citizen pro-Palestinian individuals, proactively and effectively curbing lawful pro-Palestinian speech and intentionally denying such individuals the freedom of speech that is their right. Moreover, the effect of these targeted deportation proceedings continues unconstitutionally to chill freedom of speech to this day. So whether or not Trump listened to this specific judge, the deed is done. People are now way more cautious with their words, as the judge himself said. And just by the way, you are right. If Trump obeyed every single court order, I wouldn't call him an authoritarian. The issue with Donald Trump is he picks and chooses which court orders to follow. And there are over 24 that he's violated. So yeah, he's picking and choosing which hills he wants to die on. Doesn't make him not an authoritarian because he's a pragmatic person who doesn't defy every single court order, right?
So he's partly authoritarian.
No, he's an authoritarian, period.
Was Biden authoritarian?
No,
How so?
he did not intentionally violate people's constitutional rights.
So when you put on Facebook
I'm not
about
going
the
to trust
laptop,
anything I said.
wait. When you put on the Facebook page about Hunter's laptop, right?
Yeah, I love this talking
de-
point. Go on.
And they deplatformed you at the request of the Biden administration.
You mean
putting
before the
pressure
2020 election?
Putting
Who-
pressure on.
who was
putting
president?
Pressure on.
Who was
Facebook.
president when that happened?
Trump.
So the Biden administration was there before Biden won the election? Holy shit. This is a big conspiracy. I didn't know about this.
You know what I'm talking about. I got the years wrong, but you know what I'm talking about.
No, but this is the entire argument that the Hunter Biden story was
hold on,
suppressed by
hold on.
social media
Was it?
up until the election. Well, who
Was
was in
it?
charge of the government up until the election?
Was it being suppressed?
It was being paused because we weren't sure if it was foreign interference,
Paused.
which a private
Seriously,
company
paused and suppressed.
has a right to do that, right?
At the request of who?
You tell me, because Biden wasn't
Well,
president.
he's come out and testified it was at the request of the federal government.
Biden wasn't
he's
in the
come
federal
out and
government
said
when these
that.
things were. What do you mean? You mean the New York Post Hunter Biden story that was suppressed on like Twitter and stuff right before the election? Biden was not president during that. So what are you arguing? I don't think
was
you thought this
suppressing
through.
Who was suppressing it? Oh, so Trump was suppressing it.
You tell me you're the one arguing that it was suppressed by the
Trump was
government.
suppressing it.
You're arguing it's suppression. You tell me who was suppressing it.
I guess it wasn't suppressed, was it?
The private.
No, I had the word wrong. Paused. It wasn't suppression. It was paused.
We can use both terms. I don't know why you're upset about the word
pause.
paused.
Sounds better. Pause sounds better.
Yeah, because afterwards it was allowed to be
It
distributed,
doesn't sound
right?
like suppression, because if you put that in a post as a private citizen, they'd throw you off the platform.
Isn't it interesting how you're more concerned about Hunter Biden's laptop
Is
stories
that-
on
is
Twitter
that
versus someone
freedom of
being put in
speech?
handcuffs for expressing their opinion?
Wait, is that freedom of speech? Yes or no?
Isn't that interesting?
Is that not an example of freedom
No,
of speech?
no. Okay, isn't it interesting how you don't care
I
about
guess
someone
you
being
don't wanna
arrested?
address that
You don't
pause
care about
as
someone being arrested for expressing
that
their
against-
opinion,
is
but you
that
care
against-
about a private company suppressing a story?
How many did they suppress?
I'm going to ask you again the same
Yours
question.
is one. How many did they suppress?
I'm
or
gonna,
pause?
I'm gonna keep
How many
asking
did they
you the
pause,
same
my
questions,
friend?
dude. Calm down.
How many did they pause?
All of them.
How many
Every single
people?
one. They paused it all. They
many is
suppressed it
that?
all. Why do
many
you care
pauses
more about a
happened?
private company suppressing a
How
story
many
than
pauses
someone being put in
happened?
handcuffs for expressing their opinion?
Seriously, they paused the paper, the oldest paper in the country. They paused it.
Do you understand that Twitter
They
and
paused
Facebook
it.
have rules?
But that's not
Dude,
authoritarian.
Can you not interrupt me? I'm trying to respond
That's
to you.
not authoritarian.
I'm trying to respond to you, if you'd let me.
Go ahead.
The things that were taken down of Hunter Biden violated Twitter and Facebook's terms of service. Do you know what revenge porn is? You can't just send around naked pictures of Hunter Biden without the platform cracking down on you. And Joe Biden's campaign reached out to Twitter and Facebook and said, hey, there are some illicit photos of my son which violate your own terms of service as a private company. And even then, Facebook and Twitter did not oblige every single request they were given. They picked and they chose which request they wanted to oblige by. All the meanwhile, Donald Trump was president. And what's weird to me is that you are so much more concerned about a private company suppressing a story than a man being put in handcuffs for expressing his opinion. That's weird. Seems like you don't actually care about free speech.
What
You're just a
actually
partisan
would have
hack.
Okay. What actually would have had a bigger impact on the election?
If you're not going to address what I'm saying, we're not going to talk.
No, I'm just asking. Would that
Just
have had
address
a bigger...
any word that came out of my mouth in that sentence.
Oh, they legally had a right to do it. Yeah.
I'm just asking why you care more about
So,
one
let
than
me
the
ask you a
other.
question. So here's the thing.
Why is one more important than the other to you?
Well, because one affected the election. The other one, not so much.
But we're talking
But
about
one
free
affect-
speech, not
one
what affects
affect-
the election.
Yes. So if that particular
Yes,
item,
dude, we're talking about the First Amendment.
seriously, why did Biden want it suppressed?
We're talking about the First Amendment.
I understand.
No, you
That
don't.
was-
Where's the First Amendment involved in Twitter and Facebook?
Oh, you're right. It's a private company. It doesn't.
Okay,
have the
so then you admit that the First Amendment violation here is what Trump did, not what Biden did, right?
Why would they? Why would the FBI direct them to? do
Dude,
that?
you're not. Why aren't you addressing anything I'm saying?
Why would the
We can
FBI
have a
actually
debate that
go
is
in and
interesting, but you
direct them
don't want
and
to. You're
say,
just like,
"This
I don't
is
know if you're not sober or
misinformation"?
what's going on,
Serious
but
to God, why would they go in and say this is misinformation? You cannot put this up and allow this to be on your platform. Why?
naked
Because it would hurt
pictures
the
of Joe
goddamn
Biden's
election.
son were posted without his
Because
consent.
it would hurt the election.
Do you
Same reason
understand
why-
that
here's another
posting
reason.
naked pictures of someone without their consent is illegal,
Uh-huh.
right?
Right. So
Okay,
you would
I'm
understand
glad we're on the
that
same
his
page
son
there.
having naked pictures with porn stars and hookers, and he's actually transported them across state lines, which is human trafficking, right? That actually the American people might want to know about.
Doesn't mean you can post Hunter Biden's dick pics and it's legal. I don't know what you're
The
arguing
human
here.
It's who put him on the left. He says it wasn't his. He was saying it
Dude,
wasn't his.
if you're
the whole
not going to
time.
address anything
Hunter
I
said
say,
the laptop wasn't even his.
if you're not going to address anything I
can't
say,
have
this
it
isn't a
both ways,
conversation.
bro.
You're just
If it's
having
not
a
his laptop,
a
then
manic
why would he
episode of
care?
some kind or some kind of mental breakdown if you're not addressing a single word that comes out of my mouth, but you're so effusive
Did
every
Hunter
time
say
you
it was
speak.
his laptop?
If you don't address my points, I'm not going to address yours. That's how it's going to work. This has to be a two-way street when we're having a conversation. So I'm going to ask you for the last time, why are you more concerned with the Hunter Biden laptop story than someone being put in handcuffs for expressing their opinion?
Because your example did not affect the election.
It has no bearing on whether it violates the First Amendment. I'm not talking about what affects the election. You asked me why I think Trump is a threat to this country. I said he's an authoritarian. An example of him being an authoritarian, as I said, is him violating our constitutional rights. You asked for an example. I gave you an example of him violating the First Amendment, as has been adjudicated by a court. No court ever found that the Biden administration violated the First Amendment. We have courts for a reason. The reason courts exist is so that when the government violates the Constitution, the courts can step in and adjudicate that. So...
Well, I don't understand why they would even have an opinion on it, since it wasn't Hunter's laptop.
Dude, you're not responding to the words that are coming out of my mouth. You're saying the same thing. You're like a broken record right now.
Mm-hmm.
I know you're capable of engaging. If you just put your mind to it.
You remember when the FBI raided his house? Remember that?
Trump's house?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he was obstructing justice. That was a bad look for him.
How many days before the midterm election did they do it?
That's irrelevant.
No, it isn't.
It
How
is.
many days? How many days?
It's irrelevant.
Do you know?
It's irrelevant.
Okay. Do you know? It's not irrelevant. Do you know?
It's irrelevant.
You don't know. Okay.
It's irrelevant.
So it's 91 days.
Why did they raid his house?
They did it 91
Why
days
did they
before
raid?
the election.
Why did they raid Mar-a-Lago?
Why didn't they do it 90 days before the election?
That's a great question. Why did they raid his house in the first place? Do you know?
Because you can't.
This is the worst topic you could have shifted to. If you want to pivot, I'm happy to talk about the Trump indictments.
So why did they do it on the 91st
did they raid
day?
Mar-a-Lago? Simple
What's
question.
The rush?
Simple
What was the
question.
rush? What was
Simple
the rush?
question. Why did they raid Mar-a-Lago?
Oh, I don't know, because he was basically had the documents and was turning them over and negotiating with the freaking.
No.
Yes.
No, you haven't read the indictment, have you?
Yes.
You haven't even read the Jack Smith indictment. You have such a strong opinion about it. It's like the Federal Reserve thing. You have opinions on things you don't know about.
It was so strong. Where did it go?
I'm going to ask you again. Why did they raid Mar-a-Lago?
Where did Jack Smith's indictment go?
Why did they raid Mar-a-Lago?
Where did it? Because they
changing the
wanted
subject.
to affect the election.
Say it again.
Because they wanted to affect the midterm election.
That's a lie.
How so?
Merrick Garland paused every single investigation into Donald Trump for the midterm, specifically because he wanted no politicization. The reason Mar-a-Lago was raided, let me finish. The reason Mar-a-Lago was raided is because Donald Trump obstructed justice. He lied to lawyers. There's security camera footage and text message evidence of him telling people to lie to FBI agents. You understand that, right?
So what? Why
Do you understand that, right?
Why couldn't they
Trump
do
was
it
dead to rights in
after
that
the
case. You
midterms?
understand that, right? He
Why
obstructed
couldn't
justice.
they do it after the midterms?
He obstructed justice.
You don't think it would have affected the election?
He obstructed justice. They paused
not
the
what I-
investigation during the midterms.
You don't think it would have affected the election?
He was not on the ballot in the midterms.
Yes, he was.
Where was Trump running in 2022?
Trump was on the ballot in those midterm elections.
Okay, can everyone let me know which race was Donald Trump running in 2022?
Trump is always on the ballot.
That's not...
He's been on the ballot for 10 years.
Trump was not on the ballot in 2022. He was an ex-president who hadn't even announced he was running again.
Did he have influence?
Oh, so now if someone has influence, they're on the ballot. This is news to me.
He literally had more influence.
I guess
than-
Barack Obama's on the ballot. Nancy Pelosi's
Hey,
on the ballot.
hey,
Elon Musk
hey.
is on the ballot. They all have influence.
Did Trump have influence over Congress when he was out of office? Did he have influence or no?
I'm not going to answer your questions if you don't answer mine. It's a very
he?
simple rule.
No, he wasn't in office, but he had a lot of
very
influence.
simple rule.
In fact, he had more influence than frickin' Biden did. Right? Who
No.
derailed the immigration law
No.
they were trying to push through? Who derailed that? The man that
You're
wasn't
trying to
in
change the
office.
subject.
The man that was not.
I don't
in
know why you're
office
trying to change the subject.
Derailed that.
It's funny that you wanted to pivot to Donald Trump's federal indictments when they prove his criminality. Now you want to change the subject because I know the subject matter.
My God.
I'm
Jack
going to
Smith
ask
would
you
have it all
again,
wrapped up.
why did they raid Mar-a-Lago? How long did they give Donald Trump to return the documents when he lied multiple times? First to the National Archives, then he lied to the DOJ, then he lied to his own lawyers.
Sure. So at this
See,
point,
he has nothing. He has
why,
sure.
Why
That's all he can
did
say.
They raid
He has
it
nothing.
On 91 days. 1 day later, they couldn't have raided it. Why that day? One day later,
I'm waiting for you to address anything.
One
I've
day
said.
later, they would have had to wait.
Wait, I'm going to pull your tactic.
you're
I'm going to pull your
saying
tactic.
it
Watch.
wasn't
I'm
to
going to
affect
pull your tactic.
The midterm elections.
Sure.
You're really saying it with a straight face.
Sure.
You're saying that with a straight face.
I'm going to just pull your tactics now. Sure.
Okay, you agree with me then?
Sure.
It was designed to affect the election.
Sure.
That's right.
You're real proud. You're proud of yourself for that
You're
one.
proving my point.
You're proud of yourself.
Yes, you agree with me.
Congrats.
I understand now.
Congrats.
You agree with me. You get it.
Yep.
You get it
for sure, dude.
now. Did you need to raid his, or could you have requested it?
They requested for over a year.
Oh, no, they were in there like 2 months before and said to him, you need to put a padlock on that door.
First, National Archives requested documents. Donald Trump did
They
not
were
return all of
in
them.
the Mar-a-Lago complex.
Then National Archives repeatedly asked Donald Trump, please return these documents, and Donald Trump did not comply. Then they referred the matter to the DOJ. The DOJ reached out to Donald Trump and said, hey, we really don't want to have to make this a criminal matter. We'd love if you could cooperate with us and return these documents. And Donald Trump refused to return the documents. He hid documents. He lied about which documents he had. And he's also on tape admitting that he was sharing classified information with people illegally. He's on recording admitting this. So this is the worst hill to die on for a Trump supporter when Donald Trump himself is on tape admitting to criminality. It's not a great look for you.
Oh, okay.
I can play
Then
the tape
what-
if you'd like.
Wait. One question, Adam.
I'm guessing you don't want to hear it.
Well, I guess the American people judged him, did they not?
No, most American people are not even educated on what happened in these cases.
But they did vote, did they not?
They did vote. That is correct. Good job.
And they elected him, did they not?
That is true. Last I checked, he did win 2024.
So you're saying they should have listened to you.
I would have liked that. Everyone would like to be listened to before an election happens. Yeah. Your live
Because
is not
they
eligible
were
for
not
recommendation
smart
and
enough.
restricted in search
Wait,
results for
wait,
the next 10
Adam,
minutes because
Adam.
your live does not comply with the For
Because-
You feed eligibility standards. Misinformation that
kicked?
may cause moderate harm. Okay, you're gone.
You're getting
He's gone. Bro, bad faith final boss. That was so annoying. Here's the thing, dude. Like a public service announcement to everyone who wants to do rage bait. Can you just try some new tactics? Because at this point, a lot of the rage bait tactics are so played out that I've heard it all before so many times, and it's like you can rage bait me. I'm not above being rage baited, but you have to try something new. If you're just doing all the same tired arguments, so why do they raid Mar-a-Lago and Hunter Biden dick pics laptop? Like, it's 2026. Please do something new. It's so boring. If you're enjoying the live, make sure you double tap the screen and follow up above. Hey, how old are you? Hello? Going once, going twice. Patrick Melville 440. You're live. You have anything to say? 5, 4, 3, 2. Okay. Thanks for sharing. Hey, how old are you? Astrid Poppy Clover 2, you're on the live. Hello?
Oh, that was an accident.
Oh,
I'm
no
sorry.
worries. No
I
worries
am
at all.
totally anti-Trump,
Good
and
to
that
know.
guy was exasperating.
He
oh
was.
my god.
He was.
Sorry about that.
No worries, and thank you for watching. If you guys are enjoying the live, make sure double tapping the screen, following up above. I am also live right now on YouTube as well, and subscribing on YouTube is free. Following on TikTok is free, and what else? Joining the Discord is also free. Join the Discord. Linktree in bio. Hey, how old are you?
32.
And do you disagree with any of the prompts on the screen right now?
I disagree with all of them.
Even the second one? Come on.
Hold on. Nope.
Nope. Oh, so you don't agree with the second one?
No. I mean, so you have to look back. Like
Okay, go ahead.
any politician, any
Yeah.
president, there's always corruption behind it. There's always corruption in both parties. It's regardless. Everybody knows it.
But
Nobody
Trump's
just
taking
wants
it to a
say
different
it.
level that is pretty unprecedented, right? With the crypto
So-
stuff he's doing.
I don't know about the crypto stuff.
I can tell you.
I have no idea
He
about
launched
crypto.
a stable coin with World Liberty Financial that was used for a $2 billion deal between Binance and G42. And right after that deal was made, Trump pardoned the former criminal CEO of Binance, and he gave G42 access to AI chips, which we had been blocking from them because we were worried they were going to give them to China.
Okay. I have no clue about crypto at all.
If what I'm saying is
Crypto
true,
is,
which
like,
feel free to fact
way-
check me after the live, if how I described it is accurate, then would Trump be the most corrupt president in modern history where there's $2 billion crypto deals being done for favors?
Is it benefiting him or us?
How are we benefited by pardoning someone who was convicted of like money laundering to terrorist
Okay,
groups?
so let's go back to if he's making money for the U.S. or just for himself.
His net worth has increased by $3 billion over his time in office. So I never got that
Okay.
money. Maybe he's going to give it to me, but
Okay, and every president that goes into office gets a net worth gain. It's
of
typical.
billions of dollars?
I mean, look at his last term. He actually lost money.
Exactly.
Okay,
I think the first Trump term was far less corrupt and far less authoritarian than his second term, because in his first term, he was surrounded by people like Mike Pence and Bill Barr, who, conservative as they may be, were like, hey, man, you can't just blatantly violate the law. Trump's second term has basically been making the United States of America a criminal organization.
okay, all right. So let's back it up for a few seconds.
Okay,
so let's
please
go back
address
to
the corruption point.
So let's go back to present day right now. What is going wrong in the world that you're mad about? Because
I thought we were
he's
talking
your
about Trump being
president.
corrupt.
Yeah, it can be about that. But
It is
what
about that. That's what we were talking about, the second prompt on the
Okay.
screen.
All right, so you're just mad about that.
That's one example. If you want to concede that point, we can move on to the next point.
I just asked, like, what in your world is going so wrong that you hate him?
So we can move on to other subjects once this one is resolved. So do you concede on this point that he's the most corrupt president in modern history?
Okay, again, he's not the most corrupt.
Okay, then let's
Okay.
stick on this and resolve this before we shift to other topics.
Holy shit. All right, just gonna say yes so we can talk about something else because it's boring talking about one topic. So, yes, great, cool.
You don't want to talk about
Next
one topic
topic.
at a time?
You're the one that can't get over a topic. Let's talk about
It's
something
topic on
else.
the screen. Okay.
You're mad about crypto. Okay.
I'm mad that
nobody
Donald
in the
Trump is
fuck-
a corrupt authoritarian.
You're mad because he did something with crypto, which 95% of the people don't even know what crypto is.
Okay,
Okay,
cool.
He did
I don't know
something with
why the
crypto.
percentage of people that know what crypto is would have anything to do with him enriching himself to the tune of billions of dollars.
Okay,
What's the
great.
correlation?
And let's look up his net worth compared to others.
Wait, what's the correlation between 95% of people
Let's
don't
look
know
up
what
his-
crypto is? Can you
let's-
explain that? What's the connection?
Because nobody knows what crypto is.
Why would
Okay.
does that mean crypto isn't real, or
Okay.
even if
gonna slow it down
even if
again.
100% of people didn't know what crypto was, that wouldn't change Trump's crypto scam because he did it.
Okay, and I didn't say he didn't. I just said
What's the point of bringing that
95
up?
I just said people don't know what crypto is.
Okay.
I didn't say.
Well, this
he
was a
didn't
stable
do
coin,
it.
which is a cryptocurrency that delivers a treasury yield, I believe.
Okay, cool. You know what crypto is. Good for you. You've looked into it. This is how you spend your days. You look into crypto.
Well, yes, if I'm making a claim, I
Let's-
tend to have evidence for the claim, and if you don't want to engage with the evidence, I'm going to assume you're conceding the claim.
Okay, and we've already talked about the claim.
Okay.
So what's your next one? Trump is a threat to this country.
Yes.
How so?
He's an authoritarian.
Oh, how so?
He has publicly called for the termination of the Constitution, for the hanging and killing and imprisonment of his political opponents, and it's been adjudicated that he's violated multiple amendments to the Constitution.
Ah, right.
We can go in
Okay.
order there. So we can start with his rhetoric, which is basically saying he wants to put his political opponents in jail or even unalive them, as well as saying the Constitution should be terminated.
Just like when his political opponents wanted to put him in jail.
He committed crimes. And that's a pivot.
okay.
That's a pivot.
Oh, no. So, see, it's not a pivot because
It is.
you're saying he wants to put his political opponents in jail.
Yes.
But when they did it to him, it's okay.
Because he actually committed a crime.
But they also committed crimes.
No, the cases were dropped. Because they were
Um,
bullshit cases by Lindsay
and guess
Halligan,
what?
an insurance lawyer who's never prosecuted a case ever.
And guess what? Most of his were dropped because
Nope.
they were bullshit crimes.
No, they were dropped on the merits. Really?
So
this is
see?
news to me. Hold on, you're saying the Jack Smith indictments were dropped on the
You-
merits?
You guys get all like frantic about it.
It's just when you lie. Okay, I'll do the casual
not
thing. I'll do
lying.
the casual thing like you. Which Jack Smith cases were dropped on the merits?
He went after them. You're mad. They went after
No,
him.
I'm
You're
chill.
okay.
I'm super chill. So which Jack Smith cases
But
were
why
dropped
are
on
you
the
mad?
merits, like you just claimed?
Why are you mad that he's going after his political opponents?
Which Jack Smith cases were dropped on the merits, bro? Why are you getting so frantic?
idea.
Can you just tell me which Jack Smith cases were dropped on the merits?
Can you
I
tell
did
me why?
everything right and they indicted me.
Can you tell me why you're mad that he's going after his political opponents?
Yeah, after you tell me which Jack Smith cases were dropped on the merits.
I've already answered it twice. I
I
said
must
no
have misheard
idea.
you. I'm just so silly and deaf, I guess. Can you tell me a third time?
Okay, for the third time, host
Okay.
that's doing a live panel, he needs to be told 3 times, no, I don't know Jack Smith's cases.
Then why
Host,
did you
did
say
you get
they were
that
dropped
for your
because they
live
were
panel?
bullshit cases? Were you lying or making something up when you said that?
1, you're trying to turn it around right there, so stop. So
I
live
did everything
panel.
right and they indicted me.
Okay, and again, live panel. He tried to turn it around. So answer the simple question. I've already answered yours.
You didn't clarify the answer to my question though.
I said I don't know those cases.
But then why
I
did you say
answered
that they
it.
were dropped on the merits?
I never once said they were dropped on merits.
You said they were dropped because they were bullshit cases. I can
on-
rewind the
on
YouTube
Tr-
video and find you saying it
Yes.
if you want.
Yeah, no, on Trump's cases, I said they were dropped on bullshit cases.
The ones against
I said
Trump,
that
right?
for
The
him.
indictments against Trump?
Correct. That's what I said.
Yeah, those would be the
Now-
Jack Smith indictments.
Okay.
So why were they dropped? What's your understanding of why they were dropped?
Oh my fucking word. One was about the bank loan, and the bank even came out to the fucking court and
Oh my
said
God.
no. So see right there.
So what he
bullshit
just
case.
did is he
Well-
thinks that the New York civil fraud case is the Jack Smith criminal case. Okay, I understand.
And this is I'm comparing. The
I did
bullshit
everything
cases,
right and
just
they
like that one.
indicted me.
Okay, and I'm comparing cases that he's been compared to, like the bank loan
We're
thing.
we're
and the
talking about
bank-
the reason, and we can say super calm here because I know you don't like when people get frantic. So the reason that I am bringing up the Jack Smith indictments is that those came federally. They were federal charges from the Department of Justice. And that is an area
the
where the
others
president
weren't.
would have some kind of influence versus New York, which is going to be a state government
Oh.
being involved. So when Trump
like Latifah.
sends Pam Bondi and Lindsey Halligan and Alina Habba after his political opponents, and Trump's own chief of staff, Susie Wiles, has admitted publicly that Trump is going after these people as a form of revenge. And we also know that the indictments against Trump from Jack Smith, which were the federal indictments under Attorney General Merrick Garland, those were extremely strong cases. I'm just trying to understand why you think those are comparable, okay?
I did everything right and they indicted me.
I didn't say they were all right. I said most of them were bullshit.
But we're comparing federal cases here, right? Because if I'm talking about the president
They're all
politicizing the
federal
justice
cases.
system, the president's
all
not in
federal
charge of a
cases.
New York civil court.
Okay, again, they're all federal cases. It wouldn't be important if it wasn't a federal case, okay?
The civil fraud case in New York is a state level case. The 34
Oh.
felonies in New York is a state level case.
Oh,
I
so
am
they're not
talking
federal cases.
about
Oh,
the
okay.
federal
Alright.
indictments, which is what we've been talking about since the beginning.
Wow, so he had 34 convictions, but they were only at state level, and you guys are blowing it up like he's some big convict on federal
I'm
level?
talking about the federal indictments, not the 34
Oh, okay.
felonies. I've been
Oh,
talking
okay.
about the federal indictments, the classified documents case and the January 6th case brought by Jack Smith, which you seem to think were dismissed because they were bullshit cases, and I still have
The-
yet to get evidence for that.
Okay, the January 6th, you guys have got to get over that.
Say it again?
I said January 6th, you guys have got to get over it.
I know. Shouldn't Trump get over it too? Why is he always talking about the 2020 election and we can never let what happened in 2020 happen again? It's like, bro, get
Yeah.
over it. You lost the election. Am
I
I
know.
right?
Yeah, and just like you guys should get over January 6th.
Why should we get over like 9/11? If something bad happens in the country, should we just get over it?
Okay, so let's go back to January 6th.
Yeah. Let's
Huge
go.
Trump supporters were outside of the Capitol.
Yes.
There is a video on Twitter from Nancy saying that she should have called in the National Guard
No, there's
after
not.
Trump. There is, actually.
There's a video of her
Af-
saying she blames herself or holds herself responsible. She never said I should have
Oh,
called in the National
shocking.
Guard.
Okay.
You're misquoting her.
well-
It's because I know the talking point you're bringing up. It's a quote
See-
taken out of
see,
context.
You guys are see, you're already mad about it because
Is
you're
this what a mad person looks like? Damn. Okay. I
Okay,
guess I need anger
because-
management classes or something. So
Okay,
this
well,
out of
she said
context
it.
Nancy Pelosi quote, you're implying that the chain of command for the DC National Guard, the Speaker of the House is at the top there. So currently right now, when Trump sends the National Guard into DC as he did do, you're telling me that actually Mike Johnson has the ultimate authority over those guardsmen, not Donald Trump, right? Because that's what your
and-
claim would have to be.
But also, you just quoted that Nancy Pelosi did state that she should have called them in. So
Nope,
does she
that's
have
not what
the
she
authority
said.
to do it? Oh, let's back it up 30 seconds.
Let's back it up,
You-
guys. Nancy Pelosi said something along the lines, if I hold myself responsible for what happened today, the words National Guard were nowhere in that sentence. And that quote that I just gave you is taken out of context from a documentary.
There's a video of her saying that she should have called in the National Guard.
Sure, can you show
There's
me the
also
video?
a tweet. There's also a tweet. That video. Okay, January 6th, 5 years ago. Yeah, let me go find it on Twitter real quick.
I mean, if it's such
There's
a big story,
also-
there should be a news article or something. It's just a Twitter video is all you have?
There wouldn't be because it's a
I did
Democrat,
everything
so
right
the
and
news
they
doesn't cover
indicted
it.
me.
Huh?
I said there wouldn't be because it's a Democrat, so the news doesn't cover it.
Really?
Yeah,
The news doesn't cover Democrats?
barely.
So
Just like
when
her-
Biden face planted at the debate with Trump and the media basically pushed him out of the race, what was that? Was I imagining something?
Oh, did you see it on one news channel?
No, I didn't.
Oh, you didn't? Because every
No.
other news channel is all Democrat, so
Really?
I'm just like, yeah.
So like the
'Cause
Bill
every
Clinton
other news
impeachment
channel you go
scandal
on-
and Barack Obama's red line controversy and Joe Biden's debate flub, that was never covered in the media?
How many times do you see it?
Say it again?
How many times do you see it? Was it
I
just once?
stopped counting. Should I been taking tally marks or
Right,
something?
Yeah.
How many times have
So
you seen it?
I saw it, what, maybe once?
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Shocking that your news channels don't cover
I
it.
was under the impression that the media uproar about Biden's debate performance was so pronounced that Biden had to literally drop out of the race. But I guess that never happened. I don't
That
know.
was funny. You know, the media did, and Democrats actually came out and said that he should not have been running after we were told that he was fine and healthy, but okay. Lie.
Why aren't you
Remember that?
addressing what I'm saying?
We're talking about the media.
Uh-huh.
So
And you
I
said the
came
media
back
never
with-
says anything negative about Democrats.
We're going off of what media says.
Okay, so
Okay?
the media has attacked, not attacked, but reported negatively on Eric Adams, Democrat, Bob Menendez, Democrat, Joe Biden, Democrat, AOC, Democrat, Bernie Sanders, Democrat, Hillary Clinton, Democrat, Bill Clinton, Democrat, Obama, Democrat. Wait a second. That can't be. Wait,
Can you
that
rewind the
can't be.
tapes? Can you rewind the tapes? Because I never said that the media is against the Democrats.
You said the media never says anything negative about Democrats.
Correct.
Nothing bad can happen. It can only good happen.
But they don't live on it. So if Trump were to do something, the media is boom, 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 boom. Every single day they let you know. If
Which is the
Barack did
media's
something-
job, is to let you know what the President of the United States is doing, right?
Oh, okay, but if you look at media companies, one is so Democratic, the other is just slightly Republican. So, okay, so in perspective,
CBS
let's say-
is now right wing. Fox News has been right wing. OAN, Newsmax. Fox News is the
who the
biggest
fuck
news.
is OAN?
Fox News, One American News. Fox News is the biggest news network in the United States. And matter of fact, they are so right-wing, they had to pay out the largest defamation settlement, I believe, in American history because they lied about Trump winning the 2020 election. So is there any example of CNN or MSNBC having to pay hundreds of millions of dollars in damages for lying about the results of an election to cover up for Democrats? I must have missed that.
I'm sorry.
Do you need to do a little voiceover every time? Is
I thought that was
how
you.
like, no, is that like how you get paid on here?
I'm not.
By
My
doing
hands are. I'm not even doing
voiceovers?
anything.
Oh, so randomly voiceovers come over on
I
your
don't know if
own
you're
line.
hearing stuff or what's going on, but no, I'm not doing anything.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
the host isn't doing voiceovers.
No.
Got it. Okay.
No.
I did everything right and they indicted me.
That's you, obviously.
That's me.
Who else could it be? It's not me.
Because I have control of the live, so I'm doing voiceovers. Like,
Apparently you do. Yeah, this is crazy stuff.
I know, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I control the live. Yeah, that's weird. Okay, so let's talk personally. What's going wrong in your life that he's president?
What's
what's
going
hurting
wrong?
you?
Oh, Donald Trump was not elected because of what's happening in my life. We had an election in 2024. That's why he's president.
Okay. And are you mad that he's president?
Yeah.
Okay. And is it hurting your life personally?
Not necessarily. I mean, I cover politics for a living, so you could argue it benefits me in a way.
Okay. So, wait, him being president benefits you?
It gives me something to talk about. Unfortunately, it's the country being destroyed in front of our
Oh.
eyes, right?
Oh, okay, wait, hold on. So,
Okay. I'm holding on.
you're benefiting from him because you do TikTok lives against him. That's
way,
how you
yeah.
make your money. Okay, so what do you do during the day?
Depends on the day.
Do you just
What does this have to do
live-
with any of the prompts on the screen? I don't know if
I'm
you.
just asking.
Why you're trying to get to know me as a person has nothing to do with politics, does it?
Well, you're the only one that's mad about Trump, but you spend
I'm the
your
only
day
one who's
just
mad about Trump when he has a disapproval rating of like 55%. It's just me?
that.
Damn.
Were
I
you-
guess I picked
were-
up every single polling call from every
I
single
love
pollsters, and I
that.
was like, hey, it's me, Adam. I
know,
disapprove.
right? I know. I love it. It makes so much sense.
Yeah.
Who the fuck is polled? Were you polled?
I've been polled, yeah.
Oh, you were where?
It was actually when I had flown back from California. I was at the airport, and I believe Quinnipiac, maybe it wasn't Quinnipiac, one of these pollsters called me on the phone. They asked me questions about who I
So you
supported in
answered
the
a spam
election.
call?
It was a poll from a college.
So you answered a spam call, because that phone number would come in as potential spam. We all
No, the
have
phone
iPhones.
number said the name of the university that was conducting the poll, which is why I picked it up.
So you have the university's number on your phone?
No.
Okay, so that would come in as potential spam because
No, your phone can
doesn't-
still show you the name of the caller if they have it marked as part of like their ID on their phone number, right? So if Quinnipiac or any of the other pollsters call you, it will actually show up under the number even if it's not in your contacts.
Oh,
Fun fact.
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when any random number
I
tries
did
to call me,
everything right and
it
they
says
indicted
potential
me.
spam. So this is my favorite thing, is that you guys are like, his disapproval rating is
Yeah.
so low.
Oh my God.
Who's being told? Do
Who?
you see
Who is
people
being
out in
told?
the streets? I said told.
Oh, even
Who's
worse.
being-
Who's being polled? Oh God.
Who's being out in the streets answering these questions?
In the streets?
No one.
Oh, but let me not get too frantic. Hold on. Continue.
Well, where else would you be questioned?
You're right.
wait,
I never
you're-
thought of that before. Holy shit.
I know, right? But from your point,
Yeah,
you're
my point.
answering a random number that calls you,
Oh my goodness.
and it's a pollster,
Oh my God. What?
right?
Ru-
Isn't that weird?
That is so weird, bro.
It is.
I'm sorry.
You answer a random number that calls you to be polled.
Oh my goodness. How dare I?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Shocking.
I'm so shocked. Whoa.
It's kind of actually
Slow down, bro.
pathetic
I'm too shocked
how
right
much
now.
you
Holy
lie.
shit.
Any normal American never answers a potential spam call. So let's just get that straight.
Say it again.
Nobody-
Sorry. Something I couldn't hear you. Some other noise. I don't know why you keep playing
I
that
know.
sound.
Because you're live.
Okay, can you just repeat yourself? Sorry.
Okay, I know this is how you make your money, so I'm trying to help you out.
Okay, you're really helpful. Thank you.
Yeah, so you answer random numbers that call you. So if you gave me your number right now and I called you,
I'm not
what would
giving
it
you my
come up
number.
as?
Is that why you started asking about my personal life? I'm not interested. I'm not giving you my number. I'm sorry.
But hold on, wait. I'm
No,
a pollster.
I'm not giving you my number. I'm sorry, bro. I'm
Wait,
not
wait.
interested.
I'm a pollster. I'm gonna call you. I'm gonna call you though.
No,
Can you
I
answer?
really do not want to speak to you on the phone. I'm good.
Okay, so
Yeah.
right there, proven fact. You don't answer random numbers.
I know I don't give
Duh.
random people my phone number.
It was going back
It
to your
wouldn't be a
point
random
that you-
number. If I gave you my number and then I got a call 2 seconds later, I would assume it was you and I'd block the number very promptly.
and it was the question going back to that a pollster called you and you answered it and you answered their question.
Because the
No,
name
you
of the
didn't.
pollster showed up when
No,
they were
you
calling
didn't.
me.
No, you didn't.
I did.
No, you didn't. Stop
did.
lying.
I'm not
Is this
lying.
what you're? Okay, so
Why
you
would
live
I
on
lie
TikTok
about
every
that?
day.
What would I gain
live
from
up-
lying about that?
I just proved you wrong right there.
No,
if I
please,
called you,
bro, don't prove me
you
wrong.
wouldn't
Come on,
answer.
that's not fair. What the heck, bro? Don't get me
What
frantic
would my-
now.
Wait, hold on. What would my number show up as?
It depends if
Would
you
it
have
sh-
your actual name attached to your number. You understand that even if
pretty
someone's
sure
not in your
everybody
contacts, you understand even if they're not in your contacts, when they call you on the iPhone, you can still see a little name for who they think it's coming from, and that can be the name of like an organization or a university, especially if it's a company. For personal numbers, it might be different, although I think even for personal numbers, you can do that as well. That's just tying
would-
some kind of name ID to your phone number within the actual system of like the cellular networks, regardless of whether the person's contacts
that.
include you. So, yeah, I don't know why I would lie about that.
Yeah, okay. And again, it's very simple. That only happens if you've actually been in contact with that number before, but you never saved it.
That's not true.
It does. It is actually
No.
because my dentist's office, I saved it as Candy, but I never saved it in my phone because I've reached out to them before.
Okay.
It comes up as maybe Candy.
Maybe
it's not
I
saved in
did
my phone.
social science research for like a year and a half,
So
and
say-
people
so
oftentimes
say you're
knew the
lying.
college I was calling from without having me
So
in their
you're lying
contact.
to your entire
So
life.
how did that work?
So you're lying into your entire life that you've been told by a spam number. You answered a spam number, and
It was
you
it was an
answered
official poll
questions.
from a college.
Okay, so how did they proceed with the phone call? You randomly answered a number that you don't know, and
No,
How-
I
how
answered
did
it
they,
because it said the
start the
name of a
conversation?
pollster I was familiar with, and I was like, "Oh wow, finally I get to answer a poll." Turns out they're real.
okay. And
I was at
how-
the airport. I
how-
had just flown back from LAX from a Jubilee video. I was waiting for my mom to pick me up from the airport, and I got a call, and I was like, "Whoa, is that a pollster?" And I pick up, and they're asking me questions like, on a scale of 1 to 5, how likely are you to vote for Kamala Harris versus Donald Trump? And are you registered? And are you planning on voting by mail or in person? Bunch of interesting questions they asked me. And then they're like, "Thank you." And I was like, "Yep, thank you." And then I ended the call.
Interesting.
Interesting.
I've never seen somebody that has gotten off a flight that answers a potential spam call
Well,
to do
now,
questions.
first
on a
time for
poll.
everything. Now you've seen it. Here I am, buddy. You've seen me.
All right. So
Let's
today in today's world, what's going on that's affecting your life?
What's going on that's affecting my life? Why are you asking that? Was that one of the
Well-
prompts? Am I missing a fourth prompt on the screen? Do I have to squint really hard to see it? What's going on in your life? Is that the fourth question up there?
Well, you don't like the current president, so
Yeah, and it seems like you like him, but you're also too scared or unintelligent to defend him. So every substantive argument I've brought up so far, you kind of just moan and groan and then ask me about my own personal life instead of engaging with the corruption or authoritarianism, which is weird.
we've already
it's weird to
practically
me.
gone through the first three of your little topics up
Really?
there.
We didn't even talk about immigration once. You never actually addressed
Okay,
authoritarianism.
Yeah, so okay, what's wrong with immigration?
Well, we were still on the authoritarianism point. You never addressed that one. We can go to immigration next.
I'm sorry, I don't see a word of authoritarianism up
Yeah,
there.
well, if you were tracking the conversation, you asked me how Trump is a threat to this country. I said he's an authoritarian, then I told you that multiple times he's threatened political opponents with death or jail, and that he has also called for the termination of the U.S. Constitution, and he has also said that he's above the law, and he's also violated multiple times constitutional amendments. So all of those things in totality do lead me to believe that Trump's an authoritarian, which I think is threatening to this country. Yeah.
And also, without your eyes reading off a screen of everything that you just said,
I'm
let's go
literally
back to
looking
that.
at my TikTok live studio right now.
Oh, you are?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Thanks.
Okay, so
Thanks for believing
again,
me,
we
bro.
already answered this before. That
Maybe I missed
political
it.
opponents.
I'm not tracking. You're 10,000 IQ. I can't keep up with it.
Okay, so we, like you said earlier,
Mhm.
that we've talked about it many times. So I'm
Mhm.
saying we did, and I said that political opponents went against him as well. So it's
But then I said
same
that
thing.
actually it wasn't revenge when they went against him, because the indictments against Donald Trump were way more substantive than the indictments
it's
against
different.
Letitia James and
Yeah.
James Comey, which is
Right,
pretty
yeah.
apparent if you compare how the judges treated these cases and how the indictments
Right.
were secured. Because I'm sure
Yeah.
you know that in the cases of Letitia James and James Comey, Lindsay Halligan, who was appointed by Trump, had never once prosecuted a case in her life, and she didn't even properly
Yeah.
secure the indictment.
Yeah. Wasn't Letitia James, wasn't she involved in a huge mortgage fraud scandal in New York?
They tried making that up, and then the case fell out of court because there was nothing
It's
there.
actually not made up.
Why was the case laughed out of court then?
It's not left out of
And
court.
they
It's
did
so
the
well known.
math. They did the math on the mortgage fraud claims. Do you think that she committed
See?
fraud to save a couple $100 a month?
See how this is different, though. See how one goes after the other?
What goes after what? Sorry,
were
I'm
just saying-
having a tough time keeping track of your high IQ points. Can you repeat that?
Okay, so I'll slow it down.
Thank
So
you
you were
so
just
much.
saying that Trump only goes after his political opponents. And I just mentioned how political opponents go against him, but now you're backing the people that go against him.
I think you're
So-
misunderstanding the point. I'd love to restate my point, unless you want to mischaracterize it for me.
No, I just love how the person that went against him was actually countered on her fraud that she's doing.
Oh my God! And what happened to that case?
I did everything right and they indicted me.
Oh, shocking. The host needs to do a little voiceover.
That's not me, bro. I don't know why you're making false accusations.
Why are you lying, dude?
I would never lie.
You're up here to make money.
No.
Why are you lying? Yes, you are.
I don't believe in money.
Okay, so you're the host of this live.
I'm
You
not.
control. Oh, you're not the host.
I don't even know what's going on right now.
So you're blatantly lying to people.
I would never lie.
So you didn't do the voiceover?
No.
No.
Mom, I'm sorry.
So you're gonna lie again to people?
I would never lie. I don't know why you have to impugn my character, sir.
Oh, well, typical Democrat. Lie.
I'm not a Democrat.
Bullshit.
What do you mean?
If you can answer the question truthfully, are you doing voiceovers?
I'm
Answer
literally
truthfully for
not
all of
doing
your
the
panel.
voiceovers. I literally showed you my hands when one of them were going off. I mean, like,
Look at that guy, how handsome he is. I'll kiss him.
All you have to do is click a little button before you raise your hands.
I don't even have any buttons to click.
Okay. You don't have a mod in here. So you are the only one that controls this entire live. This live lives off of what you do
No.
and the sounds that you do.
I don't control this live. It's hosted like by TikTok servers. It's TikTok Live Studio, so TikTok controls the live. I'm pretty sure.
You're the host.
And
of
I
your
don't
own
have any
live,
buttons I
which you're
could
being
push to
paid
make
for.
these sounds happen. So I'm confused.
You're the host of the live,
No,
which
you
you're
are.
being paid for. Good job lying to people, bud.
I would never.
You do.
I did, but you didn't prove it though. Oh, he left. Oh wow! When MAGA sends its people, they're not sending their best. Oh my God. I've never Out of all the things he could have challenged me on, you didn't take a poll. That was a spam call. you didn't answer a poll. Out of every point that I brought up, that was the thing where he was like, nah, I'm not letting you get away with this claim. You did not answer a poll ever. Okay, bro. No more guest requests. Well, that might make a good YouTube clip at least, right? What do you guys think? Will that make a little haha funny clip for YouTube? Or was that just too much of a drag to be funny? I was thoroughly entertained by him, I will say. He was just not understanding that I was being sarcastic with him for the last 20 minutes. The fact that I was denying using my soundboard and he thought I was unironically denying it. He's like, why are you lying? I know you pressed the button. Like, bro, yeah, no shit. Speaking of, though, we have a soundboard now. Let's go through all the sounds on here.
Nothing bad can happen. It can only good happen.
And just bad news. Bad things are happening. Mom, I'm sorry. I did everything right and they indicted me. Nothing you can do, folks. Although the Second Amendment people, maybe there is.
Was that a call to violence?
I could stand in the middle of Fifth Avenue and shoot somebody and I wouldn't lose any voters, okay? I know this. I don't even know that.
Look at that guy, how handsome he is. I'll kiss him.
Whoa. Okay, we have one more guest request, but this is saying it's someone who follows me. So user 880, can you let me know in the chat, are you a Trump supporter or are you a friendly? Oh, and we got masked off MAGA. This guy's definitely a Trump supporter. Hey man, how old are you?
I'm 30.
One more time?
50. Anybody?
I didn't catch that.
I'm 50.
You're 50? What's your birth year?
75.
And you're 50?
I'm 51 this year.
Okay. What did you want to chat about?
Just,
Which of these prompts do you disagree with?
You started talking about because you said Trump's threat to this country, even though I think what's real threat to this country is Russia and China. Russia and China and Democrats. Russia, China, and Democrats. And Trump's ain't doing nothing but fixing it. You just understand what I'm saying?
I can't say I do. I understood that you asked me if I understand what you're saying. And I think I heard you say that China, Russia, and Democrats are a threat to this country. Is that correct? I would just swap out Democrats with Trump or MAGA or the Republican Party. Yeah, but China and Russia still pose some kind of threat for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you believe in free speech?
That's my argument.
Do you think it's important that the government doesn't punish people for expressing their opinion?
Yes, sir. I think that is
Was that a yes?
It's under Joe Biden's man.
Wait, yes, that was a yes, right?
Yep.
So when the Trump administration is putting someone in handcuffs and detaining them for expressing an opinion, that's bad, right?
Yeah, but that never happened.
Banana
never
what?
Even happened. Never happened.
Never happened? Is that what you said? I don't want to misrepresent what you're saying. But there's a video of it happening, though.
Show me.
Say it again?
Show me.
Sure. Do me a favor. If I want to switch my scene to share my screen with you, you can't be in the box. So just request back up, okay? I'm not ending the conversation with you. Hop back in the guest box. I just wanted to switch to...
I did everything right. I did everything right, and they indicted me.
I'll kiss him.
That was not supposed to happen. 1 second. I'm going to add you back up, Mastoff MAGA. If I have my soundboard app open while I'm typing something on my computer, it triggers like a bunch of the sounds.
What? You're going to be arrested.
Okay, here we go. And we can do this. Whoa, what is going on? What the frick? Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on. Sorry for the delay, folks. I don't know what's going on here. I think that's working. Okay, let's get this guy back up. You see the screen right now?
Yeah, I saw me and Photo.
Yeah, so this guy was arrested for expressing his opinion.
Turn around, turn around, turn around, turn around.
Okay,
Stop
let's
resisting,
not.
stop resisting.
Okay, he's not resisting. He's giving me his phone. Okay, he's not. I understand. He's not resisting. Like,
My dad.
You're gonna have to come with us. Don't worry. I'm coming with you. Don't worry.
you guys really.
You know, this guy wasn't even accused of any crimes by the Trump administration. They just didn't like what he said about the state of Israel. Isn't that kind of against free
It
speech?
never happened. It's not real.
What-
It's AI generated.
This is AI generated? Is that what you said?
Everybody no idea.
Sorry, sir. You're going to have to repeat yourself. I don't speak whatever that language is, or I don't know what's going on.
Everybody's no idea.
I'm sorry. One more time.
Everybody's no idea. And then fries.
Have
Yes, sir.
I ever had fries? Yeah, I've had fries.
Yeah, make.
Huh?
Yeah, make them. You make them.
Do I make them? I have made fries a couple times, I think. Yeah. Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
Sweet potato fries. I like those. Some Cajun on them.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Anything else?
It's just because they get resin or something like that.
Wait, you actually
Because
sound
they
kind of
get resin
similar
or
to this.
something.
Are you able to make this sound, sir? This sounds like a register you can get into with your vocal cords based on how you've been speaking to me.
Never did.
I'd love to hear your impersonation of that.
I've never done something like that. I never will do something like that, you jackass.
Can you make this noise?
Yes.
Go ahead.
You're not a serious guy. You're not a serious guy.
Okay, can you make this noise?
You're not a serious guy.
I'm sorry.
Huh?
And it's
You wanna
bad
play
news.
giant?
Bad things are happening.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
Like
Can you repeat yourself?
Stupid little prick. Son bitch. Dumbass motherfucker.
Me? What did I do? I thought we were friends. We're talking about fries and stuff. What the heck, bro? What the flip? I just wanted you to do an impersonation of this because you have a cool voice. Can you make this noise? I think it'd be super cool if you could do that. That's impressive. I could never make that kind of noise. I don't know how someone... He left... Ah, man. User 880, hop in the requests. We gotta... Oh, you are in the requests. Okay. Hey, man, how old are you?
I'm always right. I know how to shoot. And I know how to fight.
Okay. American Advocate is a troll of some kind. He's not a real Trump supporter. Is this the guy who's always like peeing in his toilet when you add him up to the call? Yeah, I'm good. I'm good off that, bro. What, there's nothing really left in MAGA. I'm sorry if this is a bit disappointing for the viewers at home. Who, you know what? No, we had substantive debates earlier in the day, and then I guess this can just be. It is content. It is content. You're right. It's content. It's content. Yeah, there's nothing much of substance left. Either they rage, they drop a slur, they can't stick to a single topic, because if you ever pin them down on one specific point, they have no defense when you go more than one layer deep into any accusation against Trump. And it's kind of sad how most MAGA people on this app, they just get like their talking points from either Charlie Kirk or Ben Shapiro or Patrick Bet-David or like one of these YouTube podcast Trump people. And it's like, I'd love to hear an original argument in favor of Trump or an honest argument. I've debated a couple people here and there who say, I like Trump because I like authoritarianism. Now, those, at least, are interesting conversations because that's what I call an honest Trump supporter. Someone who says, yes, Trump's an authoritarian. I think he should go harder because I don't like the Constitution. I have a strange type of respect for those people because they at least acknowledge reality. They just have very different values than I do. But at least if they can honestly engage with Trump's authoritarianism, then we can debate what's a better system of government, authoritarianism or a constitutional republic. But unfortunately, even the pro-authoritarian people, they're not authoritarians for love of the game of authoritarianism. They're usually just super racist, and they start talking about like racial assimilation after I ask like one follow-up question. So even those pro-authoritarians end up just being like race realists or like xenophobes or nativists or whatever the new thing is. It's not racism, it's nativism. It's different because apparently we don't mind black people if they've been here for 3 generations or more. Whatever the logic is. 404-8277-2893 in the guest requests. Are you MAGA? And yes, Bloodhound, very astute observation. We're living under competitive authoritarianism. Yeah. And the test is going to be of the midterms, whether it stays competitive. Or it just becomes full-blown authoritarianism with no competition, which is going to be unfortunate. Why'd you leave, bro?
There, man. Man, just get up real quick, pull my phone in.
Oh,
My
yeah.
phone's about
Happens
to
to the best of us, for sure, yeah.
But he's in it. He's the most corrupt president of our history. You understand that's a fallacy, right? You know what that word is. You know what that word means, fallacy.
Fallacy? No, can you tell me? I don't know what that is at all. I've never heard of that before.
Something made up. Something fake. You said he's the most
Is
corrupt
it
president.
something
That's fake
beta or
mainstream
something fake?
news.
That's what a fallacy is?
Something fake.
Something
It's
fake?
something that some liberals make up.
Mm-hmm.
Liberals make that up. You said because you probably watch CNN.
So
You watch
Trump
CNN.
hasn't made $3 billion since he became president? That's fake?
I don't know how much you made, but it don't matter. You ain't gonna matter what he does in his private life.
I think it does if he's the president of the United States and he's enriching himself.
Okay. But what's he doing for the country though? Fixing it.
No, he's not.
Fixing
He's
the country.
destroying the country.
Making people.
And to Mr. 404, I was going to have you on, but now that you're spamming, we're not talking. Because I have one simple rule. My chat is a free market. You can say, I love Trump, I hate Adam, whatever you want is fine. Once you start spamming the same message 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times, yeah, you're gone. Just a word of advice for everyone else. You're more than welcome to say right-wing things as long as you're not using slurs or spamming. Very simple rules. Other than that, it's a free marketplace of ideas, okay? Sorry, sir. Go ahead. You were saying about fallacies being beta?
Shenanigans don't make sense. I mean, it's not true.
What's not true?
It's not true. Fallacy.
Fallacy. What's the fallacy? Which thing was a fallacy again?
Him being most corrupt.
How's it a fallacy?
Joe Biden was no Obama.
Obama.
Was born in Kenya. Because
Okay,
he's born
yeah.
in Kenya.
Oh, I think I can
realize
actually do
he's
that
not
voice
from
too.
this-
You just
You realize he's
get
not
into like a
from
really
this-
low register and start
He's from
mumbling and
Kenya,
grumbling
you
and bumbling.
Stupid motherfucker.
Yeah.
You stupid motherfucker.
You stupid motherfucker. Is that how you do it? I can't really string together words in English while doing that voice, but I think I can kind of hit the voice. I don't know.
My voice, I'm talking here.
Am I able to do it, or you think I can't make the cut for that voice?
Yeah, I know.
No. But I was going to ask you again. Can you make this noise? I think you can. I think you can get into that register. You're doing it right now.
Never gonna make that noise.
Huh?
Never gonna make that noise. You'll never hear. I only make women make that noise. I only make women make that noise. You hear me, boy?
Women make this noise?
I make them. I make them make it. I make them make it, huh, buddy?
You make women scream in terror?
Not what I mean, you stupid little idiot. You can shave that fake little pubic hair off your face. Looks like you got my boss hair.
Sorry, I didn't catch that. What was that? I have bad hearing. You know how it gets. Can you just repeat that?
You got my boss hair on your face, boy.
And it's bad news. Bad things are happening.
What was that? Sorry.
I mean,
you were saying?
You stop playing that little keyboard.
I'm sorry.
Huh?
Stop playing that little keyboard, you stupid motherfucker.
Look at that guy, how handsome he is. I'll kiss him.
Whoa, what the hell? Was that you? Was that you that just said that? I'm not interested, bro.
Me, Brian Ketchup. Ketchup.
What is that?
Chicken.
Yeah.
Chicken. And fry.
What container is your ketchup in? Is that a measuring cup? Yeah. Why are you eating ketchup out of a measuring cup? Do you need to use a certain amount of ketchup? But there's also ketchup on your plate, so isn't this kind of redundant? I'm confused.
Barbecue sauce.
Oh, barbecue sauce on the plate. You can eyeball the barbecue sauce, but the ketchup has to be exactly, I don't know what line the cup is filled to, but.
One very hard cut.
Say it again.
One very hard cut. Okay.
I didn't catch that. That is interesting, though. I have to say, I've never seen someone eating ketchup out of a measuring cup like that. That's something special. What happens if you run out of... Hold on. Let's talk about some serious stuff. Forget the whole state of the country and everything. What happens if you run out of fries and you run out of chicken, but there's still a bunch of ketchup in the measuring cup?
I just lick it out.
You just lick it out?
Yeah.
You don't use a spoon. You
give a shit. I eat whatever. I'm just damn what it is. I'll eat chicken tikka masala.
Cool. Come on, bro. You can do it.
You playing that little keyboard you just got it for Christmas? Your parents give it to you a little birthday present.
One more time.
Yeah,
Look at that guy, how handsome he is. I'll kiss him.
Bro, can you stop? I'm not interested. Can you stop saying that, please?
Look at that guy, how handsome he is. I'll kiss him.
Dude, please, come on. Don't make it weird.
You keep making that noise. I'm not doing it.
What?
I'm not even making that noise, you stupid motherfucker.
And it's bad news. Bad things are happening.
Bad things are happening. It all started happening when Joe Biden became president. You understand me, boy?
What went wrong when Joe Biden became president?
Get everything. You don't get me started. You don't even get me started. You should have hanged Joe Biden.
Okay, I don't want to get my life taken down. Hey, how old are you? Hello?
And give it a fair shot. Give it a fair chance.
Hey, how old are you?
22.
And do you support Trump?
Yeah.
You see the 3 prompts on the screen right now above my head?
Yeah.
Do you disagree with any of those?
Well, yeah, I do.
Which ones? Or do you disagree with all of them?
I disagree with, all of them, to be honest, Blake.
Sure.
I do, Blake, in particular, the first one. That one's, the worst.
Oh, really? Okay. So, I think he's a threat because he's an authoritarian.
Why is that?
He has constantly talked about being above the law, terminating the Constitution, either unaliving or jailing his political opponents, and multiple courts have ruled now over the course of his second term that he has intentionally and willfully and repeatedly violated the Constitution as well as Articles 1 and 3. So first of all, you have our constitutional rights, and then you also have him impeding the role of Congress and the courts, which would be Article 1 and 3, respectively. So we can kind of go in order there if you'd like. We can start off with his rhetoric. Is it not threatening to have a president who routinely calls for the unaliving or jailing of his political opponents, all while saying that he's above the law and that the Constitution should be terminated?
Well, I mean, to be fair, like, I think, I agree with, Trump when he said, the Constitution is, it's pretty outdated. And I think it needs to be like,
Well, it's a good thing we have an amendment process for that, right? To add amendments to the Constitution, if the whole point of the process is if you think the Constitution needs to be updated, you can do amendments. But what Trump said is we should terminate the Constitution. And then he also said, he who saves his country breaks no law. So he has said now multiple times that he's above the law and the Constitution should be terminated. And it's one thing if that's just rhetoric, but then when it's reflected in multiple court cases of them infringing on people's constitutional rights and stepping on the roles of Congress and the courts, then we start to connect the dots and go, oh, this guy's an actual authoritarian.
Yeah, but like, he can actually, reinterpret, some of the amendments.
No, so actually the branch of government which interprets the Constitution is the judicial branch. That would be Article 3. And in fact, Donald Trump has repeatedly defied the courts and their interpretation of the law. Even in the case of the Supreme Court once with Kilmar Abrego Garcia, where he dragged his feet and pretty much refused to comply for 2 or 3 months before returning Garcia on trumped-up fake charges, where they ended up blackmailing him or threatening him with deportation to, I don't even remember what country it was, but ultimately the president does not get to interpret the Constitution. If they have an interpretation that is incorrect or illegal, that is the role of the courts, is to step in there, right?
Yeah, sure. I mean, but like, Trump, he has like actually like, signed executive orders, in an attempt to like,
and some of those have been unconstitutional, right?
Oh, well, I don't really think it's unconstitutional because like it's not law, but like,
right, but like, the Constitution doesn't just apply to law, it also applies to like executive branch regulations that are written by agencies or cabinet members or whatever. And the executive order that I'm referring to is EO 14161, which was ruled by a Reagan-appointed judge, Bill Young, to blatantly and intentionally violate the First Amendment. And that was the executive order that was carried out by Marco Rubio and Kristi Noem when they proceeded to try to deport people on the basis of their protesting Israel, which thankfully a court stepped in and said this is a blatant violation of the First Amendment.
Yeah, but like, I mean, to be fair, like, yeah, sure, Trump, maybe he's doing stuff that's, maybe goes against like, tradition, but like,
well, not just tradition, but like the Constitution, which is like the founding document of this country.
Yeah, but again, like I said, I think it's outdated. I think it's time to move on from this. I think a lot of it.
So, are you in favor of him being an authority? You might actually agree with my first statement, then, right? Because you don't you want him to change the country into something authoritarian, so he is a threat to the country as it currently exists.
Well, changing the country doesn't make you an authoritarian.
No, but you're the one who's saying the Constitution's outdated. He should just kind of ignore it and do something else, right?
Well, not ignore it, but like, he did.
Well, not just ignore it, but actually purposefully and intentionally and repeatedly violate it.
Well, I mean, like, you can say that, but I think Trump's actually doing, but yeah, I feel like the positives like outweigh the
I don't want to dispute what you're saying, but I will. It's not just me saying that; it's multiple courts that have ruled he's violated the Constitution. And even in the absence of courts, you can look at some of the stuff he's done, like putting people in handcuffs for expressing their opinion. And think, okay, this is obviously authoritarian to be cracking down on free expression, right?
Yeah.
Wait, maybe I'm presuming too much. Are you a fan of free speech and the First Amendment, or no?
Yeah, I am for the most part.
So if someone is protesting the genocide in Gaza, they shouldn't be detained for that, right?
Well, if they're simply just doing that, then yeah, well, I mean, again, like it has to be in like public property. Like if it's private property, yeah, it's
Right.
different.
So the
Yeah.
Trump administration didn't even accuse these people of committing crimes. They were to be deported on account of them protesting Israel, which is why a judge required their release and that this was blatantly unconstitutional.
Yeah, but like if you're here on a green card, like that's not a guarantee. You can actually get deported.
You still have constitutional rights if you're on a green card. Right.
No, yeah, I'm aware, but like,
So then
I'm just
I
saying,
don't
like,
understand
it's
how
actually
anything
a
you just said
privilege.
addresses that they violated his First Amendment rights.
Well, like I'm just I'm just trying to make a point.
Sure, I'm just trying to understand what the point is.
Well, the point is like, if you did like, because like these people, they were actually doing more than that. I think they,
Well,
they were
they weren't
actually.
accused of doing more than that. If there was a crime there, why wouldn't they have charged him
Well,
with
they
the
were saying,
crime?
death to. They were wishing, death to America.
Mahmoud Khalil said that?
Oh, the other guy, the guy from like, what was it? I think
And
it was
by the way,
Colombia.
death to America is protected speech under the First Amendment either way. So it actually doesn't matter if they were saying that, even though I don't think they were. But that's irrelevant.
And again, like this is like exactly what I mean. Like I think that that shouldn't be protected.
Oh, so you actually don't support free speech then? I was confused. I thought you said you do.
Well, I do like
The right to criticize the government is probably the most important thing protected by the First Amendment. If you can't criticize the government,
wishing
then
death upon America is not criticizing the government. You're actually
it's an extreme and violent form of criticism, maybe if you actually act on it. But if it's just words you're saying, then I don't know. Why
but
would that
that's
be
not really
illegal?
how you criticize the government.
Well, why are we policing people's rhetoric? I mean, the entire point of free speech is people can say stuff that you might find abhorrent, hateful, extreme, but they have a right to say it. If your definition of free speech is that only people whose words you like get to have free speech, then that's not really free speech anymore, is it?
I mean, it depends, but like I will say, these people are they're immigrants and they're not like U.S. citizens, and
Doesn't matter.
everything does change. It changes a bit. I'd say.
No, I mean, they still have the First Amendment right to free expression. They still have due process rights. I mean, there are certain things in the Constitution that are denoted to only apply to citizens. Free speech is not one of them.
Well, I mean, in my opinion, like if you have a green card, like it shouldn't apply to you. It's just like the way I see it.
Okay, well, that's just not how our Constitution works.
Well, that should change. I think Trump's actually
Right.
moving this.
If he wants
towards
to
the
push
right
a
direction.
constitutional amendment, he's free to do that. But you can't just violate the Constitution if you don't like it. That actually, I'm going to go out on a limb and say intentionally violating our Constitution is worse than someone just saying the words "death to America." The first is probably way more threatening than the latter.
Yeah. Yeah, but I feel like if Trump were to like try to add an amendment, he'd probably want to pass it. They want to get the votes.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to get a constitutional amendment passed. Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, which is why he's trying to take like these big leaps.
Right. The reason it's so tough to get a constitutional amendment is because it's very hard to build the necessary consensus to get whatever it is, like 3/4 of state legislatures or 2/3 of the House and Senate. I'm forgetting the exact parameters there, but that's by design, which is that if you want to make such a fundamental change to our founding document, you better be able to develop broad-based consensus. We were able to do it for abolishing slavery and for giving women the right to vote, lowering the voting age to 18, etc.
Yeah. Sorry to cut you off. This guy. This guy's DMing me. His name is American Advocate, saying like he's not a troll. He's actually like genuine. That's what he said. I don't know. This guy is. But yeah. Sorry about that. We can move on.
I'm getting sus. Is this guy the same guy who runs a fake Adam Khan account? And also American Advocate? These people all sound very similar. Is this just the same one guy who's making a bunch of fake accounts? And if so, I don't know if anyone from the Discord is on here. Is this... what's his name? Is this Salah Stan from the Discord? Is that who this is? Which, by the way, if you're not in the Discord, what are you doing? It's free. Join the Discord. Linktree in bio. Okay, American Advocate, you're not getting up here. C. Wig, I see you in the guest requests. Are you a Trump supporter?
And it's bad news. Bad things are happening.
Hey, how old are you?
Yo, what's up, man?
What's up?
I'm 20.
Okay, and do you disagree with any of the prompts on the screen right now?
Yeah, his immigration policies are cruel and inefficient.
You don't think they are?
Nah. So, you're a Democrat, and
I'm an
I
independent.
can obviously see that, right?
I'm an independent.
You're an independent?
Yeah.
But you don't like Trump, so that means you like one side more than the other, which makes you
I do like the Democrats more than the Republicans, yeah.
So you're a Democrat.
It's not how that would work. Plenty of independents.
Independence
vote for the
means you
party.
don't agree with both sides, man.
No, plenty of independents vote Democrat and plenty vote Republican every election cycle. Right.
Then you're not independent. Anyway,
I am, but okay.
so do you agree with Obama's immigration policies?
Some aspects yes, some aspects no. I mean, you'd have to be more specific.
So you don't like when the immigrants got locked in a cage and all those kids, right?
I was going to say the holding
That was
facilities
cruel.
could have been more humane, yeah.
Yeah, so Trump actually never put them in cages, but no one ever
Trump
talks
has
about.
done far worse,
if
which
you
is
come to
why I
the
said
country
he's cruel,
illegally,
right? So I can just give you an example now of one example of cruelty. A man named Luis Munoz Pinto came to a United States port of entry to legally seek asylum in this country, and he was shipped off to a slave labor camp with no due process, despite having no criminal record. That's pretty cruel.
does it matter if he has a criminal record or not?
When determining how cruel it is to send someone who's not a criminal to a foreign slave labor camp with no due process, who is trying to follow the rules to apply for asylum. This guy didn't break any rules. He was trying to follow them, and he was punished for it. How is that not cruel? I think we can agree as rational human beings it's pretty fucking cruel, right?
Okay, well, I can give you one. I can give you one thing. What I do think is cruel is that
Wait, do you agree with me on
hundreds
that, or
and
no?
I would say that that's unjust. That's unfair.
It's cruel.
Yeah, I can go with that.
Okay,
But this
it's
can't
cruel.
compare. It's not cruel.
It's not cruel to send someone to a foreign slave labor camp with no due process who's committed no crimes to warrant being sent to a prison? Are you aware of what happens at CCOT?
I mean,
They're
if we don't want 'em here,
psychologically,
then
physically,
why do
and
we- why do we
sexually
have 'em
abused
here?
on a daily basis in this slave labor camp. It's like a very horrible place to be. The conditions are in violation of like all human rights law. We're literally paying people.
Okay, well,
we're
that's
paying
that
the El
that's
Salvador
country's
government
problem.
to hold people. No, the United States is paying El Salvador to hold people in CCOT, and many of these people,
it's not.
dozens if not hundreds, are being sent there. Trump has said that they are. What do you mean? Why are you denying that? He met with Bukele in the Oval Office, and he was talking about, we're going to send you guys our criminals, put them in CCOT. And they didn't just send criminals. They sent plenty of people with no criminal record who were legal asylum seekers. Luis Munoz Pinto is just one example of over 200 who were
Okay,
sent there
all right.
in violation of
Let
a
me-
court order, by the way. He violated a judge when he sent them there. So that was authoritarian as well as cruel.
Okay, let me say one more thing. So you can say that all you want, but you have what I do think is cruel. Like genuinely, what
just
I do
gonna-
think is
you're
cruel
just gonna
is that you have
ditch
Mexicans,
that
El
entire
Salvadorians
subject?
that are gang members. No. I'm giving you my example of
No,
what
but
you
why
went
don't
on
you
a
engage
whole
with
rant.
my
which I
example?
didn't-
I'm the one
what I
making the
didn't talk to you
affirmative
about.
claim that Trump's policies
you
are cruel
engage-
and inefficient. So I'm giving you
engage with-
evidence of what he's done that's cruel, and you haven't engaged with it. And once you engage with it, I can engage something you
I'm
want to bring
giving-
up.
I'm-
That's
I'm
fine as
like-
well. I engaged with the Obama thing you asked me, right? So now let's just go
Hey,
over. I
Adam,
answered your
can I
Obama
talk,
question.
buddy?
Now you can answer my question. Sure, just stay on the topic.
Okay, I'm staying on the topic. You just didn't let me. I mean, I've made it and stuff like that for like long. I don't care.
Your audio's cutting out really bad.
But I think it's cruel.
Hold on, your audio's cutting in and out. Is that just me? No, someone
Or
said Mac
grape.
Mobile. Okay. Say something.
Okay, well you.
Okay, go ahead.
You have
I hear
Mex-
you now. Go ahead.
Okay, well you have Mexicans, El Salvador
Your audio cut out again.
came here where you're paying money. Okay.
I heard Mexicans and Salvador, and then you just cut off. I don't know if you're on Wi-Fi or data or what you have to switch up, but it's cutting in and out.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yep. Yep, I can hear you.
All right. Okay, perfect. So what I'm trying to say is that you have Mexicans, El Salvadorians, you have people from all different countries coming over here and raping 12-year-old kids in broad daylight. You have them committing crimes.
That's horrible.
25% of these people that come across the borders are criminals.
Where are you getting that?
Yeah,
number
that
from?
is horrible.
Where are you
They're
getting that
sex
number from?
traffickers. They are all this above.
Where are you getting that number from?
Look it up. Look it up. Look it up.
What I've seen is that undocumented
Anywhere.
immigrants commit
Look it up
crime at
anywhere. Just Google it.
If I can just finish. What I've seen is that undocumented immigrants commit crime at an equal or lower rate as natural-born citizens. So unless you're arguing that natural-born citizens, 25% of them are, what did you say? They're graping people or they're PDF files? What was the claim? What is 25% of them? Like, what is the category you put them in there? Criminals?
Yeah.
And when you say...
They're a criminal no matter what if you come here legally.
Who's they? Like, who are you referring to? Gotaways, visa overstays, or asylum seekers?
Illegal immigrants, they.
Yeah, but what...
They, illegal
immigrants isn't actually like a legally accepted term that applies to many different groups of people. So who are you referring to? Gotaways, visa overstays, or like people who are in standard Section 240 or credible fear interviews? Like, which subsection?
You're overcomplicating it.
I'm just referring to like the different delineations of immigration law. No, I'm not. If you,
no,
I'm trying to clarify
coming here
your position.
Legally is when they. Okay, well, when you come here legally, they don't know you're here, buddy. Like, do you not understand what's going on?
The
You're trying to sound smart and
asking
trying to
you
have
to
a
clarify is because the Trump administration labels people illegals who are showing up to United States port of entry to pass a credible fear interview, which is 100% legal. That's how you seek asylum in this country, and those people are being targeted, and those people are being deported, because they're technically undocumented until they see their judge for their court case. Are those people also criminals?
So what do you think they are? If
No,
you don't
why
know
aren't
they're
you
here?
addressing me though? Address that.
I'm sitting here I asked you a question to go further with the conversation.
I asked you a question of what are you referring to when you say like 25% of illegals are criminals? Number one,
Illegal immigrants that.
Yeah, but illegal immigrants is a term that is applied to many different groups of people. So I'm trying to clarify. It's not trying to sound smart. I can explain what these groups are. I'm not trying to get a one-up on you. I'm happy to have a debate about this if you respectfully want to disagree with me, but you have to understand what we're talking about, right? So like people can overstay their visa. They become undocumented. People can sneak past the border. They're called gotaways. They're undocumented. And then by and large under Biden,
Let's
the
talk
people
about
that were coming in,
gotaways. They sneak past the border.
yeah, no one disagrees they should be deported. That's not even a partisan issue.
No one agrees they should be.
The people that Trump is going after by and large are asylum seekers. That's the people that mostly came in under Biden was asylum seekers, people who are seeking withholding of removal, asylum, Convention Against Torture. When people talk about the Biden border crisis, it was mostly people coming to ports of entry at the southern border and trying to claim asylum, and they have to wait anywhere from 5 months to 2 years to see an immigration judge. In the meantime, before they see that judge to adjudicate whether they get to stay or not, they're technically undocumented. Those are the people that are being mainly targeted by Trump right now. There's been bipartisan consensus between both parties that gotaways should be deported. And I think they should be. If you're a gotaway, you should be deported, yeah. I don't think it's very controversial, though.
Okay, so, all right, let me just get one thing straight.
Sure.
All right. So you're saying that you say that people that come to asylums that are trying to come here legally, America doesn't have to let them in, dude.
Yeah, that's why they see an immigration judge.
They don't have to let you in.
Yeah, that's why they see an immigration judge, and the judge decides whether they get to stay or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If America says no, you don't want to stay here.
Well, America doesn't say anything. We have an immigration
Go back
court
to your
system.
country. Your own country has slave labor camps.
Well, hold on. America doesn't say anything. There's immigration courts that are going to, CWIG's live content contains themes that some may find uncomfortable. If they remain in your live will be unavailable to some audiences. Bye-bye. Bro. That's a shame.
And it's bad news, bad things are happening.
Hey, how old are you? Oh. Hey, how old are you?
40.
Do you disagree with any of the prompts on the screen right now?
Yeah, I do.
Which ones, or all of them?
Yeah, all of them. Yeah,
Even the second one, that's the one I never understand if someone disagrees. Really? Second one as well?
Yeah.
Come on. Okay, which one do you want to debate first?
Why don't we do the first one?
Sure. I think Trump's an authoritarian. That's why he's a threat to the country.
Yeah, look, this is all my personal opinion, Adam, but I have such resentment for the political left. And I think the left
I know that. That's what drives MAGA's hatred of the American left. I know that very well.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I can tell you why.
It's vengeance-based. Sure, go ahead. I'm going to guess COVID lockdown, summer of love, Hillary Clinton documents, Biden laptop dick pics, some combination of those things, right?
You got a few of them there.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's well, with the first thing you said, were you for the lockdowns?
At the moment or afterwards? Because hindsight is 2020, right? This was a novel virus. I think in hindsight, a lot of the lockdowns went too far. At the time, I don't blame our public health experts for trying to err on the side of caution because this was a brand new virus we knew nothing about at the time. So,
were you for the BLM protests in the summer of 2020?
Mm-hmm.
So you see, I find that contradictory and hypocritical.
How so?
Because if we're all locking down to protect grandma, why would the left be for?
So this is why I said that I think that some lockdowns went too far. I was lucky enough to live in a state where our governor told us you are free to go outside. You should go outside, get some fresh air, get some sun, get some exercise. I think that the entire point of lockdowns was to say that if you're in a closed indoor space where you're sharing the same air particles, there's a higher chance of COVID spreading. If you're outdoors, the spread is much more difficult. So I don't really have much of an issue with people who are doing outdoor activities.
Well, the looting that the Democrats allowed certainly was an indoor activity. Right?
The Democrats allowed looting?
Yeah, and rioting.
Didn't Joe Biden say on the debate stage with Donald Trump that he condemns any sort of violence or looting, and he specifically told BLM protesters that we want you guys to stay peaceful? So how can you blame Biden and Democrats for that if they explicitly said we want peace?
Because the Democratic governors that were imposing the lockdowns allowed the chaos, rioting, and looting. President Trump offered assistance with, like, the National Guard, for example, and it was rejected.
Well, people like Tim Walz, Donald Trump said that Tim Walz did an excellent job in the summer of 2020.
I think Tim Walz did a terrible job. I mean, he was.
Sure, I guess Donald Trump disagrees with you, and he actually had firsthand experience dealing with him.
Well, here's what Tim Walz did, who I think is a complete a jackass, right? So he had a snitch line, right? He had curfews, and then we hear his wife saying something to the effect of how she loves smelling the burning tires. Look, this is what I'm talking about. This is why I think. Look,
what do you mean she likes smelling the burning tires? What is that?
Well, that she made some sort of comment like that. I can look it up for you if you want.
Sure,
it was something to that
I can
effect.
also search it up if you want. Tim Walz's wife, smell of burning tires. Let's see.
It was during the BLM protests, riots. Yeah.
In a 2020 interview with KSTP-TV, Minnesota First Lady Gwen Walz stated that she kept her windows open during the civil unrest following the death of George Floyd, especially to smell burning tires. Her exact comments regarding the experience at the governor's residence in St. Paul were, "I could smell the burning tires, and that was a very real thing. I kept the windows open as long as I could because I felt like that was such a touchstone if it was happening." What's the issue?
Okay. You really have to ask me what the issue is with that.
You can tell me if it's so obvious.
Well, she's praising the BLM protests, and they
as would I.
Okay, man. If we're all
people have a right to protest in this country.
Okay, so
right?
We were locking down. Okay, so was protesting racial injustice more important than protecting grandma?
I don't think those are mutually exclusive. I think you can do both.
Interesting.
Like I said, this was my position throughout COVID as well, that I think any state that banned people from going outdoors, that's fucking crazy. But most states that I'm aware of, you could still go outside in the fresh air and get exercise and walk around or hike or whatever. A lot of those lockdowns, first of all, were implemented by private businesses, and second of all, they pertain to indoor spaces where the risk of transmission was much higher. If people want to protest outdoors while wearing a mask, I think that's probably fine. Now, if any specific protester committed a crime, prosecute them, obviously, and the majority did not commit crimes, and let them protest because that's their First Amendment right.
They closed the beaches in places like California.
Okay, I disagree with that.
Okay. Well, look, I'm just trying to point out that this that this is completely contradictory and hypocritical. And when I
I
saw
made my
that, I was
position
like,
pretty clear. My position isn't
well,
contradictory.
I look if I think it's fair to say the lockdowns were much more extreme in blue states, or would you disagree with that?
I would have to go state by state and see which parts of the lockdowns were enforced by governors versus private businesses, because a lot of the restrictions were private businesses choosing to do things as well, especially early on in the pandemic. But I'd have to go case by case.
Look, it was the greatest example of totalitarianism in the West I've ever witnessed, and it came from the left, not the right. And look, I never got the C-19 vax either, despite the totalitarianism of the left in 2021.
Yeah,
Okay?
I was told by the right that like you wouldn't be allowed to leave your house or get on a plane if you didn't get the COVID vax, but that never ended up panning out. It seems like it was just a bunch of fear-mongering. Meanwhile, the Trump administration has been adjudicated by multiple courts to be cracking down on people's civil liberties. That to me seems like a much greater example of totalitarianism, when people are being arrested for expressing their opinion and constitutional amendments and Articles 1 and 3 are being violated intentionally, and Donald Trump is saying we should terminate the Constitution and I'm above the law.
Okay,
Right.
look, it's the left are the ones who wanted vax passports and vax mandates.
And
Would you disagree?
Well, clearly that never happened, right? The left isn't one
Passports?
homogenous thing. People had different opinions on this on the left.
Well, but wait a minute here, man. Like, wasn't there like in order to see like, I don't know, maybe sporting events and things like this, they required like a vax card.
Who's they?
It happened, right? The states. Some
Was
of
it the states? Was it like the stadiums?
Maybe the cities, maybe like New York City did. I can look it
Right.
up.
I mean,
but
we have states' rights and cities. They can regulate the stuff as per the Constitution.
Dude,
It would
I'm
be
just
worse
saying-
if the federal government said national lockdowns, but it was state governors mostly.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's what. Look, man.
How is that totalitarian? That's an example of states' rights at work. If you didn't want to have severe lockdowns, go live in a red state, right?
Dude, Biden tried to mandate the C-19 vax.
The
through
OSHA thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then when the court said
Supreme
no,
Court
he
struck it down.
Yeah, and then he
Yeah.
complied with the court, which Trump does not do, right? That's more totalitarian to me. When Trump defies court orders, Biden actually on student loans and on OSHA complied with the courts. He had an opinion, he had an interpretation of the statutes, he was wrong according to the courts, and he obliged by the court orders. Whereas Donald Trump has been, so far, violated over 24 court orders, including one from the Supreme Court.
Just saying, there was extreme pressure and coercion to get the
But
C-19 vax.
do you
right?
think this was done because people are like evil, liberal, WEF, you will own nothing and love everything? Or do you think it's possible that this was a brand new virus and everyone was really scared and public health experts were like, shit, we don't fully understand what this is. Let's err on the side of caution rather than taking a bunch of risks?
Dude, fair enough. This is why unless the hierarchy of priorities is so out of whack, which I think it is, that fighting racial injustice and George Floyd was so much more important, that all got thrown out the window.
But I'm going to say, again,
Right.
a lot of blue governors, including mine, during COVID said go outside. Like, as long as the issue with lockdowns, the purpose of lockdowns was, again, people being in packed indoor spaces. The way that droplets move through the air is very different in outdoor spaces, such that transmission is much less likely if you're all standing on the street or at a beach or something, which is why I would say any state that restricted people from going outdoors, I think that's too far, and I did at the time as well. And many people on the left did, by the way. This wasn't like some hive
They
mind.
said shelter. A couple things, right? I remember hearing shelter in place, and also one of the great icons on the left, Noam Chomsky, right? He said something to the effect of, I'm paraphrasing, if the unvaxxed can't get food, that's their problem. So look, man.
It seems like you're cherry picking instances of specific people doing stuff during COVID that you don't like and saying that this is the greatest example of totalitarianism you've ever seen in your life in the West. Meanwhile, Donald Trump openly, explicitly, intentionally, and purposefully says out loud, I'm going to defy the Constitution. I am above the law. And then multiple courts have adjudicated, okay, he's violated the law. He's violated the Constitution. And even when these courts adjudicate that, Trump in many cases violates the courts. That is a fundamental threat to our constitutional order. And it's not by accident, right? When Joe Biden pushed the OSHA stuff, Biden thought that was legal. The court said it's not, and he obliged. Meanwhile, Trump will do stuff which he knows is illegal. The court will say no, and then oftentimes he still does it anyways.
Look, all I'm saying is Chomsky wrote, what was the book? He wrote a book, Manufacturing Consent?
Yeah.
Right?
Can you address what I said,
to me,
though?
that was yeah, look, you're just you're pivoting off to Trump. I mean, fine.
Well,
I
no,
just I was
this
just
is a
pointing out.
topic at hand. You joined my life to
No, I
talk
know.
about Trump, and I've engaged with you on all the COVID points you brought up. I'm just saying that I don't understand how COVID was an example of totalitarianism. Meanwhile, the president of the United States threatening his political opponents with death and with jail, and saying that we have to terminate the Constitution and that he's above the law, and then acting on those words, how that's not much, 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 much worse.
Look, if you're referring to, I thought it was extremely reckless
Mhm.
of those Democratic congressmen and senators
Yeah, to say you shouldn't
come
follow
out
illegal
like that
orders.
on a national stage like that. Look,
Yeah.
it causes disunity among the ranks.
Wait, were they saying something wrong?
I watched it again,
Uh-huh.
and they were saying, again, I'm paraphrasing, but it was like the administration is pitting, I think the word was, the intelligence services and the military against American citizens.
That's true,
and
though.
look, man, if they would have made like private calls to generals or something, I would have not had a problem with that. But to put that
Isn't
out,
that low-key worse, to be having secret conversations with generals to intercept the chain of command? This was a public statement about Donald Trump has shown indication many times that he wants to break the law. So just a little reminder to everyone in the armed forces, you have to follow the law, not the president. That should be uncontroversial. The fact that that bothered the right so much is suspicious to me. Why not just agree with us and move on?
I just think, like I said, dude, I think it's causing soldiers, but especially young soldiers, to say, hey, wait a minute, I have an appeal to authority here.
Well, you
that are
understand that
telling me
Trump
that
was
not-
giving illegal orders.
Okay. Which orders
Like a
do you-
lot of the National Guard deployments, the one that comes to mind initially is the one that happened in Oregon, where a Donald Trump appointed judge, Karen Emmerich, ruled that he was violating states' rights, violating the 10th Amendment, and that the things he invoked to justify federalizing the National Guard were, I'll give you an example. One of the pieces of evidence submitted by the Trump administration in Portland to federalize the National Guard was that a protester shined a flashlight in the eyes of an ICE agent, and that this is such a travesty that we have to bypass the governor to federalize the National Guard. Isn't that like
Well, look,
way more
Ed-
serious than like, hey guys, wear a mask?
Well, but here's the thing, and I'm going to go back to like the summer of 2020, man. The left, the Democrats, the left, they allow rioting like we saw this last summer in Portland, in LA, with Antifa.
The leaders of the Democratic Party in 2020 said, we condemn unequivocally all violence and all lawbreaking. Meanwhile, Donald Trump openly has pardoned a bunch of domestic terrorists from January 6th. He has said, let's have the Second Amendment people take care of Hillary Clinton. I mean, this is someone who every single time he speaks about his opposition, he does so in a dehumanizing way and acts as if these are some kind of vermin or scum or threat to the country. He's given speeches to our military saying that they have to take care of Democrats. And your concern, while I share your concern of government overreach and totalitarianism, your concern seems very misplaced to me if it's on COVID lockdowns and BLM protests and not the authoritarian administration in the White House right now.
Look, they can condemn rioting all they want. The key is to stop it. The key
Donald
is to
Trump
not
won't
allow-
even condemn it, though. At least condemn it.
What are you talking about, J6?
Political violence in general.
Okay. Look, man.
He
how do you- I
refuses to call out his own side on political violence. And again, I'll just play a soundbite for you from my soundboard. Listen up.
Nothing you can do, folks. Although the Second Amendment people, maybe there is.
Imagine if Joe Biden said, listen, guys, nothing you can do about these red state governors. Maybe the Second Amendment people can do something, though. I feel like everyone on the right would be having like a manic episode, screaming and smearing their shit on the wall and saying, oh, the radical left, they're coming for us. Anthony Fauci is spearheading this. The double standard is really weird. I don't understand it. Because I think authoritarianism is a serious concern. I think our Constitution is important. But the people that claim to agree with me are weirdly silent and blinded by the major defiances of our courts and our Congress and our Constitution. Why the selective outrage?
Dude, I mean, you're talking about political violence. Do you know, I've talked to so many people on here that are like laughing and mocking and celebrating what happened to CK, and they're mocking his pretty wife
Hold on.
Erica. I think
Having
that's
dark
a
humor
disgrace.
and making jokes about someone who died doesn't mean you support them being unalived, right?
Look, man, I think what happened
Right?
to Charlie
Because
was tragic.
this is what I heard from so many Trump supporters when they were making jokes about George Floyd, which were extremely disgusting and distasteful. They were like, oh, it's just a joke. It's just dark humor. You don't get my dark humor. But then when the left does dark humor, it somehow means we support extrajudicial killings. I don't. I was scheduled to debate him like a week and a half after he died. But I also can find a meme funny, right? I can both say Charlie Kirk obviously should not have been gunned down in public. At the same time, if I see a funny Charlie Kirk meme, I'm going to laugh.
Okay, so look, I think what happened to Charlie was absolutely tragic. All right, but there, by your logic, is it okay for the right to laugh about the Obama, the what Trump did with the Obama post with the ape thing? Is that
I think
okay?
that would
then?
be
Is that
racist
dark
if they
humor?
laughed at it.
Okay, but but you just got done telling me how dark humor is okay.
And
so
dark humor can be offensive to people many times, rightfully so. If someone says, hey, dark humor on both sides offends me, that's totally fine. I'm just saying you have to be able to take it if you can give it. And many of the people who are complaining about Charlie Kirk jokes, I'm not saying this is the case with you, are the same ones who make the most racist, transphobic, sexist jokes and have been for decades now. And when the shoe's on the other foot, now they're snowflakes all of a sudden. I'm of the opinion I don't really make jokes about these types of subjects. If I see a funny meme, though, I'm going to chuckle and I'm going to like it and move on with my day. And some stuff is not funny to me. Some stuff is. To me, racism is not so funny, especially if it's coming from a white guy towards black people, and he also happens to be the president of the United States.
Okay, man, but
Right? That's the president. People on TikTok are not the president when they make a joke about Charlie Kirk.
Okay, Erica lost her husband, man. There's a difference. Somebody.
She doesn't
that was
act like it.
actually- Oh, come, dude. See, I think this is. Dude, this is disgrace, man. This is disgraceful.
What I'm
Okay?
doing is disgraceful. You hold me to a higher standard than the president of the United States of America.
No, dude. I'm just saying that you should have some. Even if you don't like CK and Erica, you should
I
have
think
some.
Eric, the only person who seemed genuinely hurt by Charlie Kirk's passing after he died was Candace Owens. Everyone else started grifting immediately. I think it's really weird to start walking out to fireworks wearing glitter suits like 5 or 6 days after your husband dies, or doing earnings calls with the TPUSA staff literally a week and a half after Charlie was killed, saying, guys, we just hit 200K in merch sales. That's not normal. That's weird to me. And it
Look,
also
Matt.
just highlights the fact that the right used the death of Charlie Kirk for political purposes.
Look, man.
It was
I'm
all a
not-
grift.
Dude, she lost her husband, man.
I agree, and she shouldn't have lost her husband. That doesn't change anything I just said, though.
Okay, I'm gonna give her I think she's a good person, and I'm gonna give her the benefit of the doubt that maybe people grieve in different ways, and I'm certainly not gonna see. I don't like this, man. I think it's terrible what you're doing.
I think it's
Okay.
terrible to grift off of someone's death.
I don't think she's doing that.
Sending emails to people who are on TPUSA's email list saying Charlie would want you to donate, that's not grifty to you? Like within the week after he died? That's not... What I'm saying is so gross. I'm just telling you what they did.
Look, I'm gonna get too pissed off if I keep talking to you about this, so I'm gonna pivot off it. Okay. Look,
Be my guest.
let me try this. Okay. Why?
I have to say, you haven't addressed a single argument I've made about Trump's totalitarianism. Meanwhile, I addressed your arguments about Biden's alleged totalitarianism, so why can't you extend that same thing to me? Address what I've said about Trump being an authoritarian.
Because I think some degree of these are I think the left has subverted Western civilization. I
The
think
right is.
something. Okay, look, man. Look,
Dude, The right is attacking free speech. The right is attacking free and fair elections. The right is attacking rule of law. The right is attacking a free press. The right is attacking due process. All of these things, which are cornerstones of Western American constitutional liberal democratic order, whatever you want to call it, that is under assault by the right. And oftentimes, I'm not saying this is the case with you. I'm going to give you benefit of the doubt. But oftentimes, when I hear someone on the right saying that Western civilization is under attack, what they really mean is there's too many brown people in America. I hope that's not what you mean. Right?
Look, man.
Right?
The left came up with
Right?
concepts such as
Can you just clarify that's not what you mean when you say Western civilization?
What?
I just want to clarify. When I say Western civilization, I'm referring to like laws, norms, institutions, the Constitution. When you say Western civilization, are you just referring to white people or no? I want to clarify.
I'm referring to Western Europe, the U.S., Canada,
Right,
Australia.
but what is Western civilization? Like, are you one of these people, and feel free to correct me, who says that America is becoming a majority-minority country and that that's a threat to us? The browning of America, is that you?
I do think that that importing the third world into Western countries is a mistake. But
There
I
it
will
is,
say
okay.
real fast here. Let me just say this
There it
real
is.
quick, okay? And we'll keep talking about it. But it's funny to me that the people who came up with concepts such as cancel culture, microaggressions, safe spaces, DEI pledges are talking to me about free speech.
It's
Okay?
not funny at all because free speech has to do with, at least insofar as the First Amendment is concerned, the actions of the federal government. And neither Joe Biden, nor Barack Obama, nor Bill Clinton, nor Jimmy Carter, nor any Democrat I can think of has had people put in handcuffs and detained for expressing their opinion, like Trump has.
All right. Let me test your free speech, man.
Why aren't
What
you
is-
addressing that, though?
I'm talking to you about free speech.
Yeah, but I
okay?
just gave you an example of the Trump administration violating free speech in a much more egregious fashion than cancel culture on Twitter.
Look, I'm assuming you're for the Gaza protests, right? On college campuses?
Broadly speaking, yeah.
Okay, is that because of free speech?
Sure, yeah.
Okay, so would you be okay with
Wait, why aren't you
neo-Nazi-
addressing my argument, though? You're
I just
pivoting.
want you to answer this question.
You're pivoting, though.
No, just answer this
I've been
question.
answering your questions. I've been trying to speak to you in good
you
faith, and you don't address
okay?
anything I say.
Are you okay?
I'll answer this after you answer what I said.
Okay, what's your look? I was in the mid. I was just here. I
How
promise,
is the Trump administration having someone put in handcuffs and dragged away from his wife for expressing an opinion they didn't like not the most egregious example of free speech violations in the modern
who
era?
are you referring to?
Mahmoud Khalil.
Oh wait, well, look, man.
I know it's a
that
scary
dude-
sounding name, maybe, but he was a green card holder
Okay.
who had First Amendment rights.
Look, I think it's perfectly reasonable to not allow people into the country who despise Western
He was a
civilization.
green
But
card holder. He was a lawful permanent resident.
Now I need you to answer my question.
No, you didn't address what I said, though.
Yes, I did.
You just said some vague platitude about I think it's okay not to let people into the country if they hate the country. That's not what I said, though. Mahmoud Khalil was a green card holder who was a lawful permanent resident. And he was basically arrested, detained, put in handcuffs, dragged away from his wife, pregnant wife, and he missed the birth of his firstborn child. Why? Was he even accused of a crime? No. He expressed an opinion on the genocide in Gaza, and that was enough for Marco Rubio and Kristi Noem and Donald Trump to say, you know what, lock him the fuck up. Kick him out of the country. If that to you is not setting off a million fire alarms about Western civilization is under attack, then you don't actually care about Western civilization. You care about some kind of ethnocentric view of the United States that you masquerade as, oh, this is about Western civilization. The good things about Western civilization are rule of law and institutions and norms and the American Constitution, the Bill of Rights, Articles 1 through 3 of the Constitution. That's the important stuff. That's the stuff you leave by the wayside because, oh no, cancel culture on Twitter. That's not insane
Would
to you?
you allow?
He's not going to address anything I just said.
Would you allow neo-Yazis to protest on college campuses as a matter of free speech? Would you?
I'll answer this when you answer anything I just said.
Bullshit.
I promise.
You won't answer it. Will
I
you?
promise I will once you answer
Look,
any of the
Gaza-
things I've said over the last 5 minutes.
Will, dude, did you hear what I said?
It's bad news. Bad things
How
are
about this?
happening.
Here, you want? Gaza is not a G side. I can explain that to you if you want, but I need you to answer.
We're not
this
pivoting
question,
from anything
okay?
until you address what I said.
Bullshit, dude. I did address it. You won't answer the question.
I did
Would you
everything
allow
right,
Neo-
and they
would you-
indicted me.
Dude, you're fucking. Dude, you're scared. You won't answer the question.
You didn't address anything I just said to you.
I did answer it. I did.
What did you say
I
about
said-
Mahmoud
I
Khalil?
said, dude, that guy's a fucking. I think he's like.
You don't
a
care about free
sympathizer of
speech.
fucking-
You don't care about free speech. You're just a right winger, probably partisan hack of some kind.
Dude. Should neo-Yazis be allowed to protest on college campuses?
I'm not addressing that. I'm not addressing that till you address Mahmoud Khalil.
Because you don't believe in free speech. What do you want me to look? I think the guy was a Hamas sympathizer. Okay.
A Ronald
That's what I
Reagan
think.
appointed federal judge ruled that the Trump administration intentionally violated his First Amendment rights to create an atmosphere of fear. They were trying to scare people. That has been proven by a court. And you refuse to engage with it. So all I can say to
I
you,
just answered
all
you
I can
about
say to
the-
you, good sir,
And it's bad news. Bad things are happening.
Dude, you won't answer the neo-Yazi question.
I'm
on
just
college
playing by
campuses.
your
What do
rules,
you-
which is not answering the point my
Bullshit.
opponent brought up.
You're losing.
I will address your neo-Yahtzee point when you address Mahmoud Khalil. I'm happy to address it. I have an opinion on it, but I'm going to go after you go.
I told you, I think he's a Hamas sympathizer.
But you haven't substantiated that. You can't just make an unsubstantiated claim that is
I told you
slandering someone whose rights were violated and just move on from that. That's not how this works.
I told you what I think.
Yeah,
That's
and if
what
you
I
make an
think.
affirmative claim, you better have evidence for it like I do.
All right, let me look the dude up. All right, hang on.
And just to be clear,
I re-
saying that you love Hamas is fully legal. It's protected by the First Amendment. I don't know if you know this. So number one, he didn't say that. Number two, even if he did, it still would not have any bearing on this case. You can say, I love Hamas, I love everything, whatever. That's fully protected by the First Amendment. That is the point of the First Amendment.
Khalil, is that his name?
Mahmoud Khalil.
Nothing bad can happen. It can only good happen.
Look at that guy, how handsome he is. I'll kiss him.
I'm looking him up.
Go ahead. I have the court
Anti-
case if you want me to pull it up. I have the full PDF.
Anti-Israel activist Mahmoud Khalil to be deported to Algeria. New York Post. Okay, this is
What you
New
want to
York
look up is AAUP versus Rubio. That is the court case in Massachusetts under a district court judge, Bill Young, who is a conservative judge appointed by Ronald Reagan, who ruled, and I quote, "For all these reasons, this court finds as fact and concludes as matter of law that Secretaries Noem and Rubio and their several agents and subordinates acted in concert to misuse the sweeping powers of their respective offices to target non-citizen pro-Palestinians for deportation primarily on account of their First Amendment protected political speech. They did so in order to strike fear into similarly situated non-citizen pro-Palestinian individuals, proactively and effectively curbing lawful pro-Palestinian speech and intentionally denying such individuals the freedom of speech that is their right."
dude. I don't want immigrants who are pro-Hamas coming into this country. Maybe you do.
You didn't
I
address
don't.
anything I just said, bro.
Dude, well, here, hey, look, I got here. White House says pro-Hamas propaganda.
And by the way,
distributed
supporting Hamas is protected by the
protests.
First Amendment. There's no point in even bringing this up. It's protected by the First
Okay,
Amendment.
and again, so by your logic,
And he was a green card holder, not someone coming into the country. He was a lawful permanent resident who had been here for years already.
Mom, I'm sorry.
So you haven't answered my question yet. Should neo-Yazis be allowed to protest?
Like I
on
said,
college
I'll
campuses?
answer your
You
neo-Yahtzee
won't-
question
dude,
when you address Mahmoud Khalil.
I did, man.
You didn't. You just said, I don't want people in my country if they support Hamas. That's not an answer to anything I said.
Yeah. What do you do? What do
He
you
was
want me to
already in the question, already in the country. He had a green card, lawful permanent resident. And a judge has ruled, a judge, not a radical liberal activist judge, a judge appointed by Ronald Reagan, said that the Trump administration intentionally, not by accident, intentionally suppressed his free speech rights. Why? To scare people away from protesting Israel. If you dare utter the words, I'm concerned about totalitarianism and Western society, and that to you is not an egregious abuse of government power at the expense of our civil liberties, you are not a serious person.
Dude,
bad news,
answered
bad
your
things are
question.
happening.
Why do you keep playing things when we're debating?
That's
dude?
not me.
What the fuck? Well, who is it?
I don't know. I thought that was you.
No, it's not me.
Oh, that's weird. Okay, bro, it's obviously you.
Dude, you're a.
Can you just stop?
You're losing.
Can we have a
so
conversation?
Bad, you're losing so bad. You got to pull this nonsense. It isn't me, and you fucking know it.
It's not me either. Why are you making false accusations?
Dude, I think you're lying.
I think I'm not.
So answer my question.
Once you answer mine.
About the. I did answer. I said
No,
I
you
don't
didn't.
want
You just said you
pro-
don't want
I don't
people in our
want
country.
Hamas-
It's some vague shit. I don't know.
I don't want Hamas sympathizers, immigrants who are Hamas sympathizers coming in here. I think that's a reasonable answer.
That doesn't address Mahmoud Khalil. He was already in here. He had a green card. He was a lawful permanent resident who was detained and kept in a cell for weeks for expressing his opinion. And a judge ruled that his First Amendment rights, which he does have, were violated.
Dude, don't they ask questions when people are like applying for citizenship?
You're not addressing
Don't they
what I'm
ask questions?
saying.
Dude, look, I saw fucking Andrew Wilson fucking just.
Oh yeah, that was so funny when he didn't even know what zero-sum game meant. He debated me. For anyone who hasn't seen the debate with Andrew Wilson, it's a real treat. Go watch it. He debated me for 15 minutes saying, that's not a zero-sum game. And finally I asked him, Andrew, what is a zero-sum game? And he says, no compromise, no negotiation, no nothing, right? This is someone who has 100% confidence for topics he has 10% knowledge on, which is why he was so triggered the entire debate. But I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm glad you enjoyed
Well,
it.
I like Andrew. He's
I
one
can
of my
tell.
favorite.
That
Yeah,
explains a lot.
Andrew's cool. Well, look, I am pro-choice, man.
Okay.
And it's bad news, bad things are happening.
Dude, why don't you quit fucking playing that?
That's not me. Can you stop making false accusations, bro? What the hell?
Well, it's not me, and I'm on your line. Is it one of your moderators or something?
There's no
It's not
moderators
me.
on right now. I don't know what that is. See, even the chat is saying, John, stop playing sounds. It's not
I
me.
think you're not me, dude. You're
Okay,
gaslighting.
multiple people now are saying, John, stop with the soundboard.
Well, I'm not doing.
Okay, let's test it. John, if you're the one with the soundboard, I want you to activate it right now. Okay, see? Thanks a lot, bro. Thanks.
Dude, you're fucking pathetic.
That's why I say the same to you, buddy. Lying,
dude-
accusing me of something that you're doing. Wow, that's rich. Western civilization is over.
Answer the question. Should neo-Yazis be able to be allowed to protest on college campuses as a matter of free speech?
I'll
Should they?
address that when you
Yes or
address the
no?
court case that
Dude,
found
you're
that the
a
Trump
fucking
administration
joke,
violated
dude.
the First Amendment.
You're a fucking joke, man.
You're the guy with the soundboard thinking you're funny or something.
No, it's not me, man.
Mom, I'm sorry.
It's not funny, dude.
Dude, is this like normally what you do? Like,
I normally don't
fucking
have people with
stupid.
soundboards hopping on
Waste
here
of
and refusing to
time.
answer a simple question for like 10 minutes straight. No, it's not normal.
dude, nobody. It's not me. You're lying your ass off.
You're lying.
No, I'm not lying.
I would never lie.
No.
Everyone in the chat knows it's you, bro.
Well, here. We'll. how
Nothing
about this?
bad can happen. It can only good happen.
So you obviously don't feel bad about CK, do you?
I literally said he never should have been unalived. I was scheduled to debate him a week and a half later, and as you can probably guess, that didn't get to happen. So I'm not happy that happened. I would have liked to debate him, actually.
Well, do you feel bad that he was unalive?
Yeah, sure.
You do. Okay.
Anytime any civilian is unalived, I feel bad.
Really?
Dude, that was not the time to do that. This is a serious topic.
Dude, why are you fucking gaslighting, man? It's stupid. It's
That's the
boring.
number one gaslighting technique is you tell the gaslighter that they're gaslighting, yeah.
I did everything right and they indicted me.
You know, I actually do find this fascinating about the left.
Yeah,
that-
tell
that,
us.
in the U.S., the left puts the non-straight community in an ivory tower. However, in places like
Ivory
Iran,
Tower.
like Gaza,
Whoa, look at them all the way up there. The non-straight community. Hey guys, how's the weather up there? That damn ivory tower. Holy shit.
Some places in the Islamic world, the non-straight community would be thrown out the window or off the roof of an ivory tower. And I'm really interested in how you quantify that in your mind.
I happen to not be a fan of throwing people off of buildings, broadly speaking. That's just me, though. Yeah.
I did everything right and they indicted me. And it's bad news. Bad things are happening. Mom, I'm sorry.
Bro, this is not the time for that. You act like you want to have a discussion and you start making these noises.
Adam, I'm not doing it. And you know you are. I can tell by the way you're smiling.
I'm smiling because these are goofy-ass sound effects you're playing in the middle of a very serious conversation. And in one of them, he says, Mom, I'm sorry. Why is Donald Trump saying, Mom, I'm sorry?
You're the one
Mom, I'm sorry.
So do you want to address Mahmoud Khalil, and then I can address your neo-Yahtzee example?
See, you're lying.
Do you want to address Mahmoud Khalil, it being ruled by a court? No, you just gave me some vague platitude about I don't want Hamas people in my country. I'm talking about the court case, which exists. The court decision is online, where it was ruled that the Trump administration intentionally violated people's free speech rights to create a culture and an atmosphere of fear. So not just cracking down on civil liberties, but trying to dissuade people from using their civil liberties by scaring them.
Well, this was the whole look, man. I believe in people's right to protest, but I think it should be done at like a park or a lake. You know, man, Jewish students and others who were pro-Israel were being harassed and intimidated on campus.
I condemn all harassment, obviously. Now I'm going to ask you again.
But you saw it was going on.
The courts interpret the Constitution, right? Article 3 says the courts interpret the Constitution. And when the courts have said, hey, executive branch, you guys, Donald Trump, Kristi Noem, Marco Rubio, you guys intentionally violated the First Amendment rights of multiple students. And you didn't do it by accident. You did it on purpose to scare them and to scare other people who were considering protesting Israel. Now they're going to think twice. And again, you seemed earlier to be concerned with totalitarianism, yet I'm giving you an example of one of the most egregious violations of our civil liberties in modern American history, and all you can say to me is, I don't want damn Hamas sympathizers in my country. That's not a response to anything that I've brought up here.
Look, I'll tell you why I don't want third world immigration into the West if you'd like me to.
You already said that when I was clarifying what you meant by Western civilization, and you showed that it was actually not any real definition based on constitutional norms or rule of law or institutions. It was just brown people stinky or something. I don't even know what your argument is there.
Well, the average IQ of sub-Saharan Africa fluctuates between the high 50s and low 70s. In northern Africa, it's mid 70s to low 80s.
I'm sorry. I did everything right and they indicted me.
Be me. I was muted, so it's obvious you're lying.
I was muted also.
Bullshit.
I was.
No,
I was letting you speak, so I muted myself.
Not a serious person, Adam.
I agree or not. Any closing arguments you'd like to make? The floor is yours.
Person, no.
Any closing arguments you'd like to make?
Yeah, dude. I was trying to. You were.
Mom, I'm sorry.
I think that I think the left is a.
And it's bad news. Bad things are happening. Mom, I'm sorry. I did everything right and they indicted me. Mom, I'm sorry.
Why are you doing that?
Dude, I said the floor is yours to make a closing statement. I haven't heard
Just
anything
makes you
from you.
look stupid, dude.
It's bad news. Bad things are happening. Mom, I'm sorry.
Bro, I gave you the floor to finish speaking, and I haven't heard a single lick of English from you so far.
It's bad news. Bad things are happening. I'm sorry.
Hello?
I'm sorry.
Hello? Can I get an argument out of you, bro?
Mom, I'm sorry. Mom, I did everything right, and they indicted.
Okay, very funny. Can I get an argument out of you now?
Muted the whole time.
Same.
You're lying your ass off.
I was muted. Chat, was I not muted, chat?
Stupid.
Can chat back me up on this? I was muted.
Dude,
Come on, chat, back me up on this. I was muted, right?
you're a fucking lowlife, man.
Whoa, 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 whoa. That right there, what you just said, was a threat to Western civilization, my friend.
Mom, I'm sorry.
You should not make fun of Erica Kirk like that. That's terrible.
Did you know the average IQ of people named John Stone is 50?
I did everything right, and they indicted me.
Why do we talk about
Bad news. Bad things.
Any day now, I'd love to have a conversation with you.
It's bad news. Bad news. Bad things. Bad things are happening. Mom, I'm sorry.
It was funny the first time, but you're doing too much now. And I was muted for that whole time, right, chat?
Dude, do you just think you got that I shattered your worldview so badly? I annihilated your worldview.
I wish you would. I've been trying to listen to an argument out of you. I'm listening closely. I don't hear any argument. I said, John, any closing arguments? And then you just start going. Very funny. Very funny. I was muted, by the way, for that. Everyone chat, I was muted.
You're a fucking douchebag.
Whoa. Bro. That's not nice. You shouldn't say stuff like that to people.
You shouldn't talk like that about
It's bad news. Bad things are happening. Mom, I'm sorry.
This is not cool, bro. First you said a mean word to me, and now, come on. Can we have an actual substantive conversation?
You're fucking pathetic.
I've been asking you for 10 or 15 minutes now. A court has ruled, whatever your opinions are on how our immigration system should be structured, a federal court has ruled that the Trump administration intentionally violated the First Amendment. Now, if you are someone who cares about the First Amendment, and our courts have said the president is violating it, shouldn't you be concerned about that?
Dude, can you just stop playing that?
I would love a response to my question, or anything I've said, dude.
Dude, I'm not gonna. If you fucking play that music one more time, I'm just gonna fucking.
I was muted, buddy.
You're full of shit.
I was muted.
You're full of shit. You're lying.
You're a threat to Western civilization, with your 50 IQ points, by the way. Dude, like I said, it was funny maybe the first time, but you're spamming the same audio over and over again. At least do a different one.
Why are you doing this, man? What's the point of it?
I'm trying to have a conversation with you. I brought up Mahmoud Khalil, and I feel like you have yet to engage with the court decision. The court decision, we have Article 3 courts, which are meant to adjudicate when the Constitution is violated. You ostensibly care about free speech, but when our courts, our constitutional system is working as it was intended to work, where the executive branch is being called out for violations of the Constitution, you're weirdly silent about that. Now, I'm happy to answer your question about neo-Yahtzee protesters after you address the fact, not what you want in terms of your ideal immigration system, but rather whether a lawful permanent resident with a green card should be allowed to express a critical opinion of Israel without being put in handcuffs and forced to miss the birth of their firstborn child.
Look, like I told you, man, there's an application process where all kinds of questions are asked.
You're not
about,
addressing the court decision.
dude, I don't know.
Court
Look,
decision. There was a court decision on this. Court ruled.
Okay.
First Amendment was violated.
Dude, just would you please
Thank
quit
you for
playing
the
that
DJ
fucking-
glasses and all the other gifts, everyone, by the way.
Dude, I don't know why you'd play like sounds like that when we're trying to debate.
Are you
It's
still
just
going to
stupid.
pretend like that's not you?
Sure. It's not me, you jackass.
You're not funny, dude. You're not.
Dude, you're full of shit.
Okay, now you're actually getting annoying. Can you address the court decision thing? Don't tell me, oh, there's rules about coming into the country. Can you address that a court, a federal court, said that the Trump administration intentionally went after people's free speech rights to scare them away from protesting Israel, which is their constitutional right?
Like I said, I think there's a difference between U.S. citizens and people who are trying to become citizens, right?
You're not answering what I said, though.
Dude, I've answered you a number.
You're
of
talking
times,
about
man.
distinctions that
Told-
exist between categories. I'm asking you to just address the decision from a Article 3 court.
Well, I'm just having a hard time taking. you
Conservative
seriously,
judge, by the way,
like,
appointed by Ronald Reagan.
Dude, when you're playing this music when we're trying to debate, I just think it's ridiculous. It's stupid.
I was going to say the same thing to you. Notice I've been asking you the same question for 10 minutes now, and all you can do is play these weird sounds. I'm going to ask you again, very
Dude, I didn't
specifically,
play the fucking
I want you to address that a court has ruled that the Trump administration intentionally violated constitutional rights to create a chilling effect. They put someone in handcuffs and dragged him away from his pregnant wife while she was crying because he said words the government did not like. If you pretend to care about constitutional rights or free speech or Western civilization and that doesn't bother you, you're not a serious person. Please address that without telling me some kind of distinction about your ideal immigration system. Address that directly. Thank you.
Dude, I've already addressed it a number of times. I told you that.
Address the court decision. You agree the court decided this, right? That decision exists, correct?
Have to look it up, man. I don't.
AAUP versus Rubio.
Look, just answer me that. Are we making a distinction?
AAUP versus Rubio is the case.
Dude,
I read
I
you the
just don't-
conclusion. I can read it again.
I don't care. How's that?
You don't care about free speech.
No, I do, and you haven't answered my question.
For all these reasons, this court finds as fact and concludes as matter of law that Secretaries Noem and Rubio and their several agents and subordinates acted in concert to misuse their sweeping powers of their offices to target non-citizen pro-Palestinians for deportation, primarily on account of their First Amendment protected political speech. They did so in order to strike fear into similarly situated non-citizen pro-Palestinian individuals, proactively curbing lawful pro-Palestinian speech and intentionally denying such individuals the freedom of speech that is their right. Moreover, the effect of these targeted deportation proceedings continues unconstitutionally to chill freedom of speech to this day.
Dude, I've answered you a number of times.
Nope.
Now I would like you.
Nope.
I would
Chat,
like
chat.
you
Did
to
he answer me a number of times?
Dude.
Let's ask chat. Did he answer me multiple times? I feel like I've just been trying to get a simple answer to this question.
What? Who the
He
fuck?
said, I want there to be different rules for citizens and non-citizens, and I don't want certain people in my country. He's not addressing the actual court case, and it seems like chat's agreeing. So how about you address that? And then, I have it in my mind, you asked a good question about neo-Yazis. I'll answer that question once you address this court case.
All right, let me look up the court case, man.
AAUP versus Rubio.
Okay.
I did everything right and they indicted me.
Exactly. Stop playing sounds and look up the case. I agree. By the way, everyone who's watching right now, make sure you guys tune in tomorrow. We're going to be covering the State of the Union. We're going live at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. We're going to be live until the end of the State of the Union. We're going to have some special guests. We're speaking to a U.S. representative from Nevada about the ACA subsidies. We're speaking with an economist who worked with Elizabeth Warren and Pramila Jayapal and helped write Medicare for All. Lindsay Owens is the name of the economist. And I'm blanking on the name of the representative. Shit, one second. Hold on. Tune in tomorrow, and we're also going to have live commentary for the State of the Union with some other radical left lunatics and thugs, such as myself, AJ Okra, Dan maybe hopping on, and a whole bunch of other people as well. Representative Susie Lee is going to be speaking to us tomorrow about the ACA subsidies, and economist Lindsay Owen is going to be speaking to us about how we can make America more affordable in light of Trump making everything a lot more unaffordable by eliminating ACA subsidies and trying to impose tariffs. So make sure you hop on tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, all the way until probably 11:30 p.m., not just giving live commentary for the speech, speaking to special guests, talking to other radical left lunatics and thugs, and maybe I'll play some Detroit Become Human if I have to kill some time in between here and there.
Yeah,
Did
I
you
got
find the case? Okay, cool.
Yeah, I get.
Cool.
Yeah, AAP is a
AAUP versus Rubio. Yep.
AAUP versus Rubio is a legal case for the American Association of University Professors challenged the Trump administration's policy of deporting non-citizen students and faculty based on their pro-Palestinian activism. The federal court ruled that this policy violated the First Amendment rights of non-citizens, affirming their right to free speech just like citizens.
Yes.
So there's no difference in free speech for citizens versus not, is what this is saying?
Right, which makes sense because the First Amendment does not have the word citizen in it anywhere. The Constitution specifically denotes citizens when it wants to talk about being able to vote or running for president. Other things like due process and free speech, citizens are not mentioned, which we can understand. The founders could have used the word citizen if they wanted to, and they did not.
Well, but again, isn't there when people are applying for green cards or citizenships, aren't they asked like questions about their views about things, and that's a basis of letting them in or not?
They're asked questions. He was already in.
True?
He was already in. He was here on a student visa before, and then from a student visa, he switched over to a green card. So this is someone who had been living in the United States for years.
Okay, I mean, what's the?
And they never accused him of a crime. They deported him because of his speech. There was no indictment against this guy.
No, it's but that is my understanding is they are asked specific questions, and if they found that they have lied on those questions, then they can
But that's a hypothetical that doesn't apply to this case. He was deported because Rubio invoked his beliefs as the reason for deporting him. The government didn't even hide this. He was being deported on its own face for his opinions on Israel, which apparently was a threat to American foreign policy interests.
Let me just get this straight here. Are you
Please.
okay with are you okay with people who are pro Hamas coming into this country as immigrants?
You're not addressing anything I said.
Dude,
Come on,
this
dude.
is a very simple yes or no question. I need you to
I'm
answer.
not addressing what I said, buddy.
Dude, just answer the question.
You want to
yes
address
or
the
no.
question, please?
I did.
No.
Dude. I've addressed it. Dude, look, just answer. You won't answer shit, man. You're afraid.
I'm just
You're a fucking
using your own
dipshit.
tactics against you. And I'm glad you stopped doing the soundboard stuff. Thank you for that.
Just answer the question. Do you want people with pro-Hamas views to be admitted citizenship into this country? It's a very simple.
That's
I don't.
irrelevant to
The
this
answer's
topic,
no
though.
for me.
What I personally want has no
irrelevant?
bearing on the First Amendment of the United States Constitution, right? If you have an issue with the First Amendment, take it up with the founders, not me. My personal opinion on who ought to come into this country has nothing to do with the federal judge who found that the Trump administration didn't just violate the First Amendment, but did it on purpose to scare people. What do you call a leader who silences opposition to scare them out of speaking? Is that not in some way authoritarian, totalitarian, fascistic? One of those things? None of those things? Come on. And I'm going to mute myself now so you can go ahead.
Yeah, dude.
I was muted for that.
Dude, you're not.
Everyone
a
heard
serious
me say I
person.
was muted for that, by the way. So
Dude, you're not a fucking serious person.
I've been trying to have
You're
a
a
serious
fucking clown,
conversation with you,
dude.
and you're playing jokes.
No, I'm not doing that, man. This is just, it's fucking stupid.
I agree. I'd love to have an actual conversation, but you won't address my argument about the First Amendment, which
you're
protects
the one that's
everyone,
doing it,
including
you
undocumented immigrants and visa holders as well.
Hey, you're a lying fucking scumbag, dude. And
I
you
would
know it.
never. I would never lie. That you just took it
No?
too far with that. That's too far, bro. I would never lie. How dare you accuse me of something
Or
like
lie.
that? What the flip? What the frick even, I might say. What the frick? Why are you accusing me of that?
Because you're doing it and you know it.
I'm sorry.
Dude, I've never actually, like, this is about the hardest trolling gaslighting I've ever
I
seen.
know.
Man. It's pretty,
I know. I was just going to say the same thing. I
they're
mute
pathetic.
myself to let this guy talk, and when he doesn't use the soundboard, he still doesn't address my point. So either it's like, remove John Stone. John Stone's live content contains themes that some may find uncomfortable. If they remain in your live will be unavailable to some audiences. Your live is not eligible for recommendation and restricted in search results for the next 10 minutes because John Stone does not comply with our community guidelines. The restriction will be removed once they are disconnected. Reason, harassment and bullying. So not only did he not engage with the substance of my argument, not only did he keep spamming the soundboard, but apparently he was also a bully and a harasser. Which, are we surprised? Remember, guys, Western civilization, if you're talking to a conservative, it doesn't mean the Bill of Rights or democracy or freedom. For right-wingers, Western civilization just means white people. And they're more than happy to destroy all the actual positive parts of Western civilization, like liberal democracy and negative rights and having a constitution and having institutions and having norms. They're happy to throw all of that under the bus as long as white guys are not outnumbered in a country because, oh, spooky. That might be it for tonight, bro. I'm tired. The soundboard thing he was doing was just really drained me of my energy. May I debate? How kind and respectful, young sir. You may debate. This is the last debate we're doing tonight, guys.
Adam,
Holy shit, it's
I love
10:22.
you. You're the best. Like, seriously, I love you so much. You are the best. I love you so much. Adam,
If anyone has ever seen Death Note, doesn't that sound like the tapes that Misa sent to the news station? There's 270 people here. Someone's seen Death Note, right? Wasn't that the exact voice filter that she used? Hold on, I need to find that clip. Oh my god, bro. That wasn't me, guys. I was muted. That wasn't me.
Taiyo TV. The news anchor Mr. Kazuhiko Hibima will die of a heart attack at exactly 6 o'clock.
What? Change it.
Bro, this is literally the exact same voice. That's so funny. That's so funny. Okay. This was fun. I'm going to wrap it up for tonight. Please let me say that. Okay, fine. Everyone else, guys, come back tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm live from 2 p.m. till whenever the State of the Union address ends. So, I'll have plenty of time to waste.
Okay, wait, what do I say?
I'll play. Hold on.
At exactly 5:59 p.m. as I requested. Then the time now is 5:59, 47, 48, 49. Please change the channel to Taiyo TV. The news anchor Mr. Kazuhiko Hibima will die of a heart attack at exactly 6 o'clock.
What?
Okay, so I'll just say the first part. What do I say for the first part?
And now,
I am Kira. If this video was being aired on April 18th at exactly 5:59 p.m. as I requested, I cannot take this serious.
You made the request, buddy. What a letdown. Wow. Got everyone excited.
I'm sorry.
Got everyone excited for what?
I'm Kira. At exactly 5:50. Oh, Dawn.
Wow. Wow. All I can say at this point is wow. If you haven't seen Death Note, it's a great show, by the way. What a live it's been tonight. What a live. I've never had a live like it. Anime recommendations. I mean, the best ones are Death Note and Code Geass. Code Geass is the best anime ever. Point blank, period. No debate, no discussion. Death Note is like my personal favorite because it's the first one I ever watched. But Code Geass, Death Note, those are bangers. Yeah, Code Geass and Death Note, those should be your first two. If you haven't watched those, don't watch anything else. Death Note is shorter, so watch Death Note first. It's quicker to watch. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is good. Attack on Titan is good. I have mixed feelings on Attack on Titan. What time is The Economist and Representative coming on tomorrow? Great questions. Fantastic questions. Questions for which I have answers if you give me 1 second. One moment, guys. The answer to... Okay. At 3 p.m. tomorrow. At 3 p.m. tomorrow. At... 1 second. At 3 p.m. tomorrow, I will be speaking to United States Representative Susie Lee. She is the representative for Nevada, the 3rd Congressional District since 2019. We're going to be discussing primarily the ACA subsidies and how they're expiring. And I believe her guest for the State of the Union speech is a mother who lost coverage for her child because of the big, beautiful bill. That's going to be at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Then, at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time, I'm going to be speaking to economist Lindsay Owens, who has worked with the likes of Elizabeth Warren and Pramila Jayapal in the Congress, and I believe played a major role in writing the Medicare for All legislation. So we'll be discussing inflation, GDP, jobs, healthcare, and more broadly speaking, how to make America more affordable. So again, 3 p.m., we're speaking to U.S. Representative from Nevada's 3rd Congressional District, Susie Lee. At 4:30 p.m., we're speaking to economist Lindsay Owens. I'll be going live tomorrow starting 2 p.m. Eastern Time. I will be live all the way until the State of the Union speech is over, which is like 11:30 p.m. There may be some intermittent periods where I have nothing to do, so I'm playing Detroit Become Human or some kind of PS5 game on the live. Other than that, I'll briefly be hopping off camera to grab food and stuff, but even when I hop off camera to use the bathroom or grab food, the live will be going. You guys need to tune in. You need to show up. We need every single radical left lunatic and thug, by the way, to stand back and stand by and fight like hell, or we're not going to have a country anymore. And tomorrow, like any other day, if you're not already, make sure you guys are in the Discord. And the Discord is where you get all the announcements. Join the Discord for all announcements. It's in the link tree in my bio. If you go to the link tree in my bio, you can subscribe on YouTube. You can join the Discord. Those are both free. And if you want to support my Antifa Super Soldier plans in a video game, then my Cash App and PayPal are also there as well. But the stuff that's free, that you don't have to pay for, is following me on TikTok, subscribing on YouTube, and joining the Discord. That's all free. It's all open borders. Anyone is welcome to do these things. And then, yeah, Cash App and PayPal are also there as well if you want. If not, that's fine. Thanks to my good friends over at Chorus. Now that I'm part of Chorus, I don't have to ask you guys for donations too much for the next few months. Carlos, I see you in the guest requests. You have 9 hours to debate me tomorrow. You have 9 hours to hop on and debate me to your heart's content from 2 p.m. onwards. Do you get invited to Jubilee or do you do casting? Jubilee has a casting page. You can apply for any given video. Then they'll look at the applications. Once you're accepted into one Jubilee video, getting on a second, third, and fourth is usually much easier at that point. Me specifically, I applied for the first couple times I went on, and after that, I started, they started just mostly hitting me up. I can still apply if there's a specific one. Like I applied for the ICE Middle Ground, which we'll see if we get in for that. But once you kind of get your foot in the door, it's a bit easier to get on second and third time. What would be your opinion on fixing the immigration problem? Pathway to a green card of some kind, or maybe just like a work permit for everyone who's here and has been here and is not doing anything bad. Obviously deport criminals and stuff. And then the main thing is make it much easier to come in legally into this country, such that the demand to come in undocumented is lower. Reform the asylum process, hire more immigration judges. We need comprehensive immigration reform. Mackenzie says, sounds like you're inciting violence. You know what else sounds like inciting violence?
Nothing you can do, folks. Although the Second Amendment people, maybe there is.
Oh, that sounds like violence to me. Let me see if I missed anything else in the chat. Didn't listen to the lecture today. To watch you instead. Dedication, so true. Thank you, Patriot. Bring me up. I want to compliment you, King. We're not taking guests anymore, but I appreciate the hypothetical compliment, Seabar. Thank you. Did you see Kash Patel going crazy yesterday in the locker room? I did indeed see Kash Patel. That was hard to watch. I need to lock in on my radical left soundboard. You want to test the Zoom? Maybe we should test the Zoom. I tested it through other means, but we should just test it on Zoom real quick. Hold on, AJ. AJ, stand back and stand by. Hold on. Shit. Okay. Mr. Okra, I'm dispatching the link to you expeditiously in TikTok DMs. Or actually, I'll just give it to you on Discord. I have you on Discord, right? LeBron's greatest disciple. LeBron's greatest disciple, you've been summoned. We're just testing to make sure that if I do a Zoom call tomorrow on the live, the audio is like all working, because I'm going to be speaking to the special guest through Zoom. How's my girl Rose doing? Same as always. Doing the most for no reason. Okay.
Hello.
Can the Patriots on TikTok and YouTube hear Mr. David right now?
Yeah, so I'm a graduate professor at Harvard University. I teach economics.
Let's go.
I work with the Biden administration.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
It's working. You guys hear it? Let's go. And I think YouTube's hearing it as
Amen.
well. Wow.
Amen.
Peaceful and
All right,
patriotic
Lucas.
success. Thank you, Mr. Aguilar Trevino.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Peace out, man.
All right. I don't know if I just doxed him. I think his name is public. Okay, everyone. Have a good night. Have a peaceful and patriotic night. Any last-minute questions, comments, or concerns? What's the first Jubilee video you did? I remember it like it was yesterday. And it was, oh my God, it was like over a year ago at this point. It was the 30 versus 30 or 20 versus 20 middle ground. Check Discord. Guys, join the Discord. Are all 155 of you here in the Discord? The Ben Shapiro one was the second Jubilee I ever did. I know you're in it, bro. Adam, come on, man. I'm not making fake accounts of you. I swear it's not me. Okay. I got my eye on you, sports edits. Okay. Again, if you're watching, all I ask of you, I don't ask you for any money, any time. Just subscribe on YouTube, okay? Follow me on TikTok and join the Discord. It's all free. It's all open borders. Anything beyond that, in terms of monetary support, is optional. But these three things are not optional. And in fact, if you don't subscribe on YouTube and you don't follow on TikTok and you don't join the Discord, someone's constitutional rights are getting violated, I'll tell you that much. Why weren't you in Charlie Kirk's? Well, it's been enough time now to say that we were going to do a second Surrounded with Mr. Kirkland, Charleston Kirkland, in the end of September. And Mr. Kirkland so rudely didn't show up. I had booked my flight. I had booked my Airbnb to go meet this man, debate him face to face finally on Jubilee. And for whatever reason, he didn't show up. Very, very rude. Very rude. Do you have all your Jubilee videos linked in your bio or anything? I should do that. I don't. I should make a playlist on YouTube and link that. That's a good idea. But currently I don't know. Off the top of my head, I've done 30 versus 30 Middle Ground parts 1 and 2. So I guess that's 2 videos. Ben Shapiro Surrounded. Elon Musk Middle Ground. Candace Owens Surrounded. Cenk Uygur Surrounded. Lila Rose Surrounded. Roundtable. 8 videos. 7 shoots, 8 videos. You fly out every time, damn. Yeah, it's not, the first time I ever went to California was for Jubilee, actually. Fun fact. You're pretty informed. I tried to be. And people that debate me sometimes, they're like, oh, you think you're such a smarty pants and you're so intelligent. I've never once claimed that, but I appreciate it. Bonafide Jubilee star, I guess. Is this the real Lil Uzi Vert? Holy shit, I didn't even think of that. What do you mean filmed, 7 filmed, but H? No, so the first video I did, the 30 versus 30 Middle Ground, it was one shoot, which, by the way, went from 9 a.m. to like 10 p.m. And we're sitting in these little stools with no backrest on them. Holy shit, I was dying on the inside by the end of the shoot. But the 30 versus 30 Middle Ground, they split it into part 1 and part 2. And parts 1 and 2 were uploaded as separate videos. That's where I met Parker. That is both where I met Parker, and then we went to get In-N-Out Burger afterwards, and it was so mid. I had such high hopes. We went to In-N-Out afterwards, and it was so ass. I'm sorry. I don't know if Parker agrees with this. Maybe he had a better burger than I did, but holy shit. You hear so many stories about In-N-Out Burger, and it's like, wow, Culver's destroys In-N-Out Burger. Don't ever let the Midwest take disrespect from the West Coast, okay? Culver's is so much better. In-N-Out is cheap. This is true. I'm not surprised that it's so cheap, though, because I would not pay more than what they charge for that dirt burger. The Midwest is mid, and it's also West. Culver's is... There's no fast food restaurant that compares to Culver's. There just isn't. Their ice cream, their shakes, their fries, their cheese curds, their burgers, their chicken tenders. And I've tried liking In-N-Out Burger. I've gotten it 3 times now. Every time I want to give it a chance. I want to like it. I like burgers. It's just not that good. It's kind of mid. I tried to join Discord from the link tree. It said action cannot be completed. Hold on, Patriots. I think I may know what's up. If many people have tried joining the Discord, Discord may think I'm getting raided. So I need to go in and automatically override what's happening here, I think, maybe. Let's see. Holy shit, we have a lot of Patriots hopping on. 1 second. Yes, open the link tree in a separate browser. Good idea. Try that. Were you starstruck by anyone on Jubilee Surrounded? There was one day where the whole day I was starstruck. It was the Ben Shapiro shoot, and I'll tell you why. I show up for the Ben Shapiro Surrounded, and this is my second time ever on Jubilee, and I'm debating Ben Shapiro, and I'm like, holy shit, I'm debating Ben Shapiro right now, because Ben Shapiro is the person that got me into politics. I know, it's sad, it's dark. I used to be a conservative back in 2015, 2016, and I was a big Ben Shapiro fan. And I was like, how full circle is it that I got interested in politics because of Ben Shapiro, and I was a silly little conservative, and now here I am debating Ben Shapiro. And then the shoot ends, and we're all chilling in the back, the little waiting area, and fucking Destiny walks in. And this is not an endorsement of Destiny, and this is before a lot of the allegations against him, to be fair, but I was like, I just met Ben Shapiro on Destiny in the span of like an hour. What the fuck is going on? Pretty crazy. Crazy stuff. But yeah. Did Ben and Destiny meet? No. I think Ben left out a different exit than Destiny came in from. That would have been funny. I can't believe you said that out loud. What, that I used to be a Ben Shapiro fan? Everyone has a past. I got in Detroit one time and I miss it. Yeah, I think you mean Culver's, right? Have you seen Jank Best Crash Out compilations? Jank was fun. He was fun. I will say. He was bad faith, but he was fun. At least if you're going to be bad faith, make it entertaining. Like I did. With the... Well, I didn't. It was the other guy with the soundboard. So I'm between 3 sounds on this soundboard. Want to join my live after this? We're going to play Smash Bros. Is that even the real Attorney General Okra? No, the fuck, it's not, you imposter. Holy shit. I want to take a vote. This is John's soundboard. I'm still muted, obviously. John's soundboard. I'm going to play 3 clips off of John's soundboard. And I want everyone to vote 1, 2, or 3. Which is the best one? Let's go with number 1. Listen up.
And it's bad news. Bad things are happening.
That's 1. Let's hear 2.
I'm sorry.
That's 2. And now let's do 3. Wait, so you don't like Destiny? I agree with him on a lot of domestic policy stuff, but the allegations against him are concerning to me. And also, he doesn't believe that Israel's doing a genocide in Gaza, and that's a pretty whack take, if you ask me. So, not exactly a fan of him. When he does debate Trump supporters, I love it. Inject it into my veins. He's really, really good at debating Trump supporters. But the allegations and the genocide denial for me are hard to overlook. I'm not out here like attacking him or anything, but... And I know that to be fair, I want to clear up. The allegations against him are still being adjudicated in civil court. So I'm going to withhold a final judgment on that till we get a final judgment in the case itself. So I'm not going to accuse him with 100% sureness, but it's enough to make me a little sus. What are we saying here? So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 votes for number 2. And then we have 1, 2, 3 votes for number 1. And then we have 1, 2, 3. Oh, this guy voted twice. Okay. It's looking like we like number 1 the most, right? This one?
And it's bad news. Bad things are happening.
I like this one a lot too. This is a good one.
And it's bad news. Bad things are happening.
Because there's so many use cases for this. Sometimes bad things are happening. Like if Trump tries to rig, he is trying. If he successfully steals the 2026 midterms, I can just hop on live and people are going to say, hey, what's going on right now? What's happening in the news?
And it's bad news. Bad things are happening.
It saves me the effort to have to say those words myself. Pisco is a better politics debater than Destiny. I think Pisco is a better legal debater than Destiny. I think Pisco knows more specifics on statutory I guess just like laws, the US code, and like a judicial precedent. Destiny, I think, is more tried and tested debating against online right-wingers. He has some classic debates in that regard. Everyone has their strengths and weaknesses. I love everyone, okay? That's cool, Jubilee Stories. Thanks for sharing, yeah. What about the Jank video, bro? He was bad faith in the debate. He was super nice off camera. I have nothing more to say about him. Did you see Mamdani's Carhartt custom jacket? That shit was so hard. Holy shit. Destiny, the best rhetoric debater? I think that he could be a little bit less combative sometimes. I think sometimes he's really quick to turn the aggression up to 10,000%, which is a strategy. I like being super calm to rage bait people sometimes. And I'm not even trying to rage bait them, but if someone debates me in bad faith, I try to make an effort to not match their energy because they're trying to rage bait me. So if someone hops on in bad faith, I stay very mellow and very calm, and they end up overextending or getting too confident, and it comes back to bite them in the ass when I corner them later on. I use it today, liberal. The calm, condescending tone is based, yes. And you know what's even better than the calm, condescending tone? The calm, empathetic tone. If someone's being a dickhead to you in a debate and they're being super bad faith, dude, I just want to have an honest conversation with you. I'm sure you have some great thoughts on this, so I'd appreciate if we could just go back and forth in a rational way. What's your evidence? If you're empathetic and polite and calm and they're trying to rage bait you, they end up getting rage baited. Very, very funny stuff. Very funny stuff. And also, honestly, rage baiters, step up your craft. I have not been successfully rage baited in so long, and it's boring. It's getting predictable. It's all the same talking points. How is Candace the worst by far? Candace was the only person who seemed genuinely rattled by the format, which, to be fair, being surrounded by 20 people who in some way, shape, or form hate you or disagree with you is probably a lot of pressure, but Shapiro handled it well off camera, Jank handled it well off camera, and Lila Rose handled it well off camera. In fact, I'd go so far as to say Ben Shapiro was a very, very nice man, genuinely very polite, very kind social guy who was going out of his way to be nice to people and saying stuff like, you haven't gotten a chance to talk. I want to give you an opportunity. Like, very, very nice guy. Candace just seemed so butthurt. She just seemed so upset the entire time off camera. She seemed very flustered that everyone was laughing at her and making fun of her. Or it's like, bro, you kind of signed up for that, no? React to Isaiah Martin Jubilee. Bro, I gotta go. I'm hungry. I'm hungry and I'm tired and I'm... yeah. I don't think I've watched Candace's Dear Erica video. I watched her video right after Charleston Kirkland passed, where that seemed genuinely heartfelt. The only time I ever felt like remotely like, oh, this is kind of tragic about Charlie Kirk, the Candace Owens video, if anyone has seen it right after he died, that shows them like behind the scenes taking road trips and doing karaoke in the car to Power by Kanye West. It's the only time I've ever seen him humanized successfully. Erica Kirk and Trump and Vance, they were immediately grifting. It's funny. No one really dehumanized Charlie Kirk more than all the right-wingers that immediately started grifting off of his name. Candace Owens seemed to be like the only one who was genuinely like, oh, this was my friend, and I'm sad that he's gone. She seemed heartfelt. Everyone else was fucking dollar signs in their eyes. I will say I don't endorse her follow-up conspiracy theories about the Egyptian planes or whatever. I don't know what the fuck is going on there, but... Are the middle grounds civil? Yeah. Yeah. Duncan or Tim Hortons? Neither. I'm not a big coffee guy. I mean, Whoa. Nah. Who is this, bro? Who is this? That is not me. That's so crazy, bro. This same person who runs this account has said things like, I oppose the abolition of slavery in the United States. I want to be clear, that is not a position I hold. That is not me. And it's the same one person who has made a fake account of me, of Erica, I believe, of David. It's Salah Stan. I think it is. I think it is him. I think it is him. And I think, hold on. I feel like a fucking conspiracy theorist right now. This fake account of me, here's what I know for sure. Salah Stan and American Advocate have the exact same voice. All I'm saying. Maybe they're two different people. Maybe they are. They have the exact same voice. And if you can make one fake account, you can make more than one. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. The Mehdi Hassan video, I mean, he did really well, but holy shit, those were psychotic people in the circle around him. Which cabinet member deserves the harshest prosecution / atonement in your opinion? Pam Bondi. Either Pam Bondi or Kristi Noem. Send him to CCOT. I did see Fishback debating Destiny on Jubilee. I saw that clip. Pam Bondi and Kristi Noem have got to go, bro, to CCOT peacefully and patriotically. Because listen, Pam Bondi has done Epstein cover-up, prosecuting Trump's political opponents, desecrating the reputation of the Department of Justice in our court system. Like, bro, before Trump came in for his second term, if the DOJ indicted you, you were considered cooked. Correct me if I'm wrong in the chat. Didn't the DOJ or like the FBI prior to Trump's second term have a conviction rate of like 96% or something? Almost every case the federal government brought to court was like a slam dunk case because they only went after cases that were very easy, like very straightforward slam dunk cases where there's like no ambiguity, and that has fallen off a cliff under Trump. They can't even secure an indictment, bro. Lindsey Halligan doesn't even know how a grand jury works. And like, do I? No, but I'm not a fucking lawyer. I'm not the U.S. attorney for the Eastern District of Virginia. I can't believe that entire saga, the Lindsey Halligan saga, was real. Random insurance lawyer is made a U.S. attorney. She tries to prosecute Trump's political opponents and doesn't even know how to secure the indictment. She doesn't even show the full grand jury the indictment. Talk about that new Charlie Kirk video. No, I gotta go. I gotta wrap it up. I have a bad habit of saying I'm ending the live and yapping for the next 2 hours. We're done. We're wrapping it up peacefully and patriotically. Have a good night, everyone. On YouTube, once again, YouTube gets to see the real end of the live. TikTok live is over.